Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Yeah, Detroit. Destination restoration. Yeah, it's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for step. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Saying break out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the boss. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Happy hump day. Boss, what's the word? How you feeling? You on mute.
Sorry.
There you go. There you go.
I'm happy to pull out the dub, but but actually, like, looking at these box scores, I'm not as mad as, or just not as frustrated as I was coming out, just also because I think OKC just has some really great scores, but at the end of the day, we did beat them in a lot of categories. So, yeah, we got to win. That's what matters. It was too close for my comfort, especially after a great third quarter, but we got the win. So I'm going to be happy about that.
Yeah, it's not always going to be pretty, and it was not tonight. But like you said, a dub is a dub. Chat, we see you guys in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys showing up for the watch party that we just finished up watching that game together. So we appreciate you guys showing up for that. Had a lot of fun over there, man. And like we always say, if we miss your comment, repost it, caps lock, super chat, whatever y'all want to do to get our attention, go ahead and do that, and we will get to you if we can. What up, Elton? What's going on, everybody? So listen, man. Before we get to this game, boss, you know what time it is. Let's get this PSA. Let's get this PSA going.
Oh yeah, guys. So we have this game, and then we have Friday's game and the live stream as well. But all of February, we've been doing 50% of all super chats will be going to the Isaiah Stewart Learning Center. It's a after-school program that was founded by Isaiah Stewart and Dr. Bernice Green Sr. Isaiah Stewart, he attended it himself when he was living in Rochester, New York. So it's a program that benefits grades 1 through 12, and they just offer tutoring and homework support, hot meals, transportation, community, just a really great program for the youth. So we're just going to continue to give to that, especially as Stu is out. We just want to show our love for him. So we have this stream, and then we have a live stream on Friday and a post-game stream on Friday, and that will be it. You guys have already donated so much, hit so many incredible goals. So we super appreciate that. We're very excited to let him know. We mentioned it in the live show, but he does know about it. He thinks it's awesome. He thinks it's amazing. So we're really excited to shout you guys out for him and donate to a wonderful cause.
Yeah, we talked to him at the beginning of the month, and we let him know we were going to be doing this, and he showed his appreciation and said he really, really appreciated it. So that's love. So we appreciate all you guys' support for this, man. It's been great with the watch parties and the post games. You guys have been great with your support. Keep it up, man, because all this is going to a great cause for him. And, I'm sure he appreciates it. And we'll see what we can do as far as trying to eventually get him on for a show. It's hard this time of year. The stretch run coming up, guys are locked in, but we'll see what we can do. But either way, we appreciate all you guys' support. And we will be shouting out everybody who has donated to this for sure at the end of the month. So look out for that. Doug coming through says, never look a gift horse in the mouth. Win again. The Pistons win again. Shout out GMAC Cash. Shout out to you, Doug, for always showing love. The OG, been a fan for about 50 years now. So got to show Doug some love as always, as you show love to us, bro. So we appreciate it. All right, boss. So for anybody who did not see this game, watch this game, the Pistons played and faced off against the OKC Thunder for the first time this year at home. And they bounced back from their loss to the Spurs. They beat the Thunder at home 124-116 to improve to a league best 43-13 on the season. They now move back into first place overall in the NBA as far as records are concerned by percentage points. They took that lead back from the Thunder tonight with the win against them. So as far as the injury report and availability, Isaiah Stewart's still out for 2 more games after this game. So counting down the days till he's back, games till he's back. But other than that, the Pistons are really healthy right now. The Thunder, on the other hand, are not healthy. No. They are missing a lot of guys. They're missing Shea. J-Dub was out. Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Caruso, and Jai Mitchell. So they were shorthanded for this game for sure. And we will get boss to the significance of that in a minute. But the starters for the Pistons, their usual starting 5, Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. So, guys, we are going to go live with our poll for who you guys think should get the belt. So that is now live. So go ahead and tap in with that. Yes. Without further ado, boss, let's get to some of your initial thoughts. I had quite a few, but I will let you kick it off for us. What's up?
First, I want to hit up the amazing Elton once again, coming through with a super chat.
Hey, what's up, Elton, my guy? I saw he said he missed a live stream. It's okay, bro. We're doing live streams for all the national games. Haven't decided on playoffs yet. It's a lot doing back-to-back streams, but
I know.
For the rest of the season, we're going to do them. So it's going to be some more. We got another game coming Friday. I think a few games in March, the Thunder, the Wolves that we'll have. So definitely going to be there for you as well, bro. But we appreciate it, man. As always, showing love, Elton, as you always do, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, truly, from the bottom of my heart.
For sure. And we're doing more charities too. After this one, we're going to be doing some different things. We're going to get into a little bit later. But we're definitely trying to keep that up just to show the love back to you guys and to the guys who show love to us. So yeah, anything else on that, boss?
Yeah, no, just thank you guys so much. Elton, especially. A lot of you guys have come through for a few of our charities, and it has just been
we appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah. And
we really
the community here, it really does just make me
y'all
smile.
Are great. Y'all are great, man. Like this is a great we got the best Pistons community, I think, out, boss. Like as far as the camaraderie, the chemistry, the ball knowers, the support, unselfishness, all of it. All of it. Y'all are great.
You guys are respectful to each other. You guys have different opinions. We get to hear different perspectives. So I mostly
sometimes,
I mostly know you guys from your YouTube names. So, but I know you. So thank you so much for that, Elton.
100%.
And thank you everybody else as well.
Thank all y'all. Yep. Go ahead, boss. Initial thoughts. Tee off. What you got?
Man. I mean, where to start? I mean, I hated it at the beginning. I was, frustrated. The second we did a little better, we got back. It took a little while to get back. It took because we wanted to start the second off strong, and I think we did okay, but it took us 8 minutes into the quarter to actually get a lead back. The third quarter I really liked. We think we did great, and then the fourth quarter kind of fell off again.
Yep.
I don't know, something about these last 2 games against 2 teams that we haven't seen yet. I don't know if that plays a role. I don't know what's going on, but there's just been something off. It hasn't seemed pretty. We haven't, had consistent play. I haven't loved it, but the difference between this one and last one is that we did win. And that I can definitely appreciate. Looking at some of these numbers, I can appreciate how everybody impacted the game in some way. Mm-hmm. It's definitely something we needed. And man, OKC, they're a team that I've seen, struggle. That we've seen them. They have more losses than we do. They definitely have their fair share of losses with even their starting unit. I watched them take Denver to 7 games last year. Like They have their weaknesses and their flaws, but man, do they have talent. They have a lot of talent. And so it just felt like, the Pistons kind of played down to their expected competition today, which we've seen them do a couple times. Someone in the live mentioned, I think it was Dom, who can't be here in the post game, but mentioned in the live game that, or the live stream, that he did think that it reminded him of like the Wizards game. Like, why are we playing like this against this team? So, but I have a lot of positives to say. I mean, I know you guys know me. I have positives to say about everyone, but I definitely have my negatives to say tonight as well. So I'm just glad we pulled out this win on a national game, and it was everybody that's, you know, online, but they lost to our C squad. Honestly, valid. So or they won to our C squad, barely. All valid. So, but we pulled out the win. It's what we needed. And now everybody, they're playing right now, but everybody can be Nuggets fans with me tonight because they're playing the Celtics, and we would love to knock the Celtics down a little bit further from us again too. So
get close to that 5-game lead again that we've held for pretty much the entire year since we were in first place. Totally agree. Quick couple comments. Classic says, don't want to jump the gun, but can you comment on Middleton rumors real quick? So, bro, stick around because we're going to talk about that after we cover this game. Before we end the stream, we will talk about that in depth for sure. So stick around for that, bro. Doug says you look great. I appreciate it, bro. I had to throw on, the little brown, change it up a little bit, but it's still Pistons. Y'all know it's still the D. Y'all know what it is, but I appreciate you, Doug, as always. And super chat from Clara. Happy to support a good cause. Appreciate you, Clara, as well. You've been a good supporter as well. You've been always showing up to the post games and all that stuff and showing love. So we appreciate you as well. Much love to you, Clara, for sure. And let us know what else you saw in this game. We'll get to you. All right, boss. So as far as what I saw, like you talked about it already. I wasn't really happy with this win. A win is a win. You always have to come away happy, just with, in some way, shape, or form with a win. But I wasn't really happy with this game. And we talked about it already. But yeah, the Thunder, they were without a lot of their guys, right? We know that. It would have been nice to see both teams at full strength. I agree with that for sure. But the Thunder have been shorthanded all year. They've had guys missing all season long. And they, up until tonight, still held the best record, right? That's because of their depth, right? So the Thunder have guys who can step in, and there's not a ton of drop-off. Obviously, they had a lot of guys out, but they still are able to maintain. But pre-game boss, coach echoed the sentiment that I had about this game when it came to missing guys. He was asked about it, and he gave the response. It was kind of what I was hoping he would say, because I was hoping to see the same thing and hear the same thing from him. So let's see what he said, and we'll come back.
I mean, those guys, no matter who's on the floor for them, they're champions, right? And that means a lot. You don't get to that level, compete at that level, go through as difficult scenarios as it is to win a championship, and not understand how to step up when your time is called. So they're deep, they're experienced, even though they're so young. They've been through a ton. So you got to be ready to go. You can't look at injuries and say, it's not going to be this. Like, you're playing against champions, and you always have to have that mindset.
That's where I was at. That's literally what I was like. Before he said that, I was coming into this game with that, like, hoping they were going to approach this game the right way. Because this Thunder team, guys, just a few days ago, even though they were down guys, they still snapped the Cavs 7-game winning streak, who were hot. And they did it without both Shea and J-Dub and a couple other guys. So, yeah, Heisenberg, I'm not happy. Go ahead, boss. I'm just not happy with how this game went, but go ahead, chime in.
Yeah, I was just like, it's kind of, just the exact same way. Now we get a taste of how teams felt playing against us at the beginning of the season. The OKC Thunder just kind of get it through now. So that's a great point because, I mean, I knew that this wasn't going to be easy. I think it was just more of the fact that, for some reason, we were just making mistakes. Our offense was again off tonight. Our defense definitely improved second half, and that was huge. Our rebounding also improved second half. We actually finished with quite a lot more rebounds than OKC did after being behind. So we definitely picked it up, and I think that they kind of realized that. But the OKC team, they're so good at three-point shooting and ball movement, and they have great defenders as well. And yeah, they're missing a lot of their guys, but these guys, it's just like us. Like, they're deep, we're deep. Spurs are deep, Nuggets are deep. The top teams in the league have been able to win despite injuries because they're deep. So I definitely give credit to them. Anybody that thought this would be easy is just, I think you just need to pay attention more to the Thunder. But I think that was the more frustrating thing. Like you said, of course, we were able to take them out. We can still celebrate this. They're the champs. They've been able to win against good teams with their stars missing still. But at that same time, we definitely could have come out with a different energy and a different approach. I feel like it didn't feel like the last two games have not felt like Pistons basketball this season.
I would agree with that sentiment for sure. It's just like you can't take anybody lightly. We've learned that already from the teams we lost to. We should have beaten. We mentioned the Wizards game, obviously, but that's what deep teams do. This though, they win games when they're shorthanded. That's exactly what the Pistons have done all year. Like you guys recall that Knicks matchup we had, the last matchup we had against the Knicks. We were down JD and Stu, and the Knicks were at full strength, and the Pistons easily made easy work of them. And guess what? The Knicks have won 8 straight, the same way the Cavs had won 7 straight before the Thunder beat them, right? So that 13-game winning streak we had earlier this year too, the Pistons did that with guys, multiple guys, injured all throughout that streak. It didn't matter. So even if the Thunder were fully healthy, another point, even if they were fully healthy, the Pistons still don't have Stu, who's a big part of this team. So it still wouldn't have been completely even on either side. So and it's very possible that I'm hoping we'll get the matchup we're looking for in round 2 next month. But I was just hoping and just looking for the Pistons to not lay an egg, don't come out like a days ago, and lose this game despite them being down so many guys and losing for the wrong reasons. I said pregame, as long as they play to their strengths, they should win because they're just a better team on paper. And the Thunder, with them being on the second night of a back-to-back, in both road games, and the Pistons having a day off with no travel, this was a game I was like, you got to get this game. You got it. So it didn't end up in the fashion I would hope for, but I'll take it.
We'll take the win. All right, let's get to some super chats. So there's a couple.
Let's do it.
We got one from Ben.
Hey Ben, what's up, bro?
Yes, great bounce back win. Has anyone said here yet that according to the Chinese lunar calendar, we are now in the year of the fire horse? Can't be a coincidence, y'all.
I didn't know that.
I've seen it, but I haven't made the connection, and I do love that because that's that's our logo basically.
Right.
So love that input, and thank you for the donation as well. We have.
By the way, real quick, Ben is a DJ. He's a dope DJ. We've been staying in touch with him. He actually got some footage, guys, of him using our Dog Pound anthem at a dance event that he was at in New York, right there. So we're gonna put that together and show that to you guys on one of our off days. You guys can check that out. But shout out to Ben, man. He's always showing love too. Shout out to you, bro.
And then Doug as well. And Doug, you sent this one twice, so let me know if it's a mistake because I can refund the other one because it's the same mistake. Just let me know because whatever you can give, we appreciate. So
for sure.
But Doug says beef stew number because I love a good cause. And you guys, of course. Oh, you donated his number. Okay, I see.
I got
thank
you. Appreciate
that. Doug. That is so sweet, and he's gonna be super appreciative. You guys are amazing. You guys are just
OG. OG, my dog. Appreciate that, man. All right, boss. Okay, so that's all I got for my initial thoughts, really. Just wanted to see them really. I got a few more. I got a few more things. So as far as what I wanted to see early is just do your work early. We were saying before the game, boss, just do your work early against this team. Put them away early, hit first, and they didn't do that. Last thing I wanted to see was the Pistons have to struggle through this game with all of OKC starters on the bench watching. Like they're struggling with this team. They got their whole squad, and all of our guys are still struggling. I didn't want to give them any middle edge. I wanted them to see that despite, even if you guys got a good team, but y'all need your whole team to beat us. That's what I wanted the message to be for this game tonight. Like you guys can sit, you guys fine, but you're going to pay for it. It's going to be a 20-30 ball if you guys don't play. I wanted that to happen just from a mental standpoint. So a win is a win, but just the way it happened, I didn't like, kind of like how the Knicks game, like we were saying, if the Knicks beat us without JD and Duren and it's a struggle, that's not really a win for them because fully staffed, that doesn't bode well for them. So I was hoping the same thing on the flip side for the Pistons is like, don't give them any indication that, when they're fully staffed, it's not going to be close. Show them that without their guys, they don't stand a chance. And that's what I was hoping to see. I just didn't really see that tonight.
Same. And I think, again, it didn't feel right. I don't know if it's just like something about not playing. We don't play these teams often. We only play West teams 2 times a year.
Right.
We just kind of formed this team last year. No one was expecting to beat the champs last year. It's all still kind of new to them. OKC is also kind of new and young. So I don't know if that threw us off a little bit. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do win with them, a little bit better, even with their starters. Like most of their losses this year, guys, have come with like Shea on the floor. Like it's not and Chet. Like it's not like it's just the bench that we lost to, that we won against the bench that has carried the losses. Like no, the OKC, we've seen it ourselves. Like we've seen it ourselves. We've seen our bench dominate games. We've seen our bench kind of have slower games. So tonight they just had some guys step up. I know some people are like, we let Jay Will get 30 points and 11 rebounds, but all he did was step up for his team. So, and I mean, that's like, it's comparable to B-Ball Paul's double-double where he had 28 points against the Sixers. Like, it's
He's
just
a good player.
Yeah, exactly. He's a good player, and they didn't slow down. They gave their all, and so I'm glad that we pulled it out. But agree with you, Deuce. Like, we should have just been able to show them, like, no, like, you need everybody to beat us. And we still did win by 8. You know, it wasn't an overtime thing, but there are a lot of mistakes that are fixable. That's the thing that excites me. These are all fixable things.
For sure.
Going forward, we meet them again next month in a few weeks while we have Spurs and Cavs kind of close together. Because we have Cavs this week as well, and then Spurs and Cavs again next week. So we'll see how those games go. I want to see improvement from those, but yeah, I think individually we'll get into it more, but I'm not loving, and it's just, again, it just didn't seem very, when we did have momentum, we had a good amount in the third, but we couldn't really stack it together. And OKC, I mean, even when we did have good defense, they can just shoot threes. It's just tough. It's just tough when you're a defensive team going against a great offensive team, but this is also how we beat the Celtics. We beat in other good teams, the Cavs, even though they're great offensively, and our defense has pulled through and our offense has done enough. But it is a little bit, obviously, you know, we're missing their all-stars. So understandable to be a little bit like, why wasn't it more? But we'll see. Maybe for some reason the all-star, us against their all-stars is a better matchup. You just don't know.
Yeah. And it was just the lapses. It was just the lapses. It was great play and it was bad play. It was great play and it was bad play. Too many offensive rebounds given up when we were having our lapses. Too many second chance opportunities that led to 3-pointers, which is demoralizing. Just not even really communicating, not really on a string, fighting over loose balls, the ball going out of bounds because you two guys fighting for it. Like, just a lot of uncharacteristic things that were happening. The Pistons were down 34-22 in the first quarter. That was the end of the first quarter. That was a very disappointing quarter. They did not hit first at all. The energy wasn't there. The camaraderie and chemistry wasn't there. They were dropping their heads early in the game. It just didn't look like the Pistons we've come and grown accustomed to seeing. They did pick it up, like you said, Boston, in the second quarter. They actually held a 6-point lead at halftime after being down 12 in the first quarter. So they outscored them by 18 points in the second quarter. And that just goes to show when they play their game. It's like I said to Boss earlier, it's encouraging, but it's also frustrating because you know when they lock in, they can beat anybody. But it's also frustrating because it's like we wouldn't have to wait for you to turn it on to make it interesting when it doesn't have to be.
Right. Yeah. And I'm just wondering some of the decisions because me and you talked about it too, and we'll get to it, but we noticed some things like Cade playing off ball a little bit.
Yeah.
He was more of a facilitator than trying to get his buckets early. And we did see him turn it on in the second, and that was huge. Just like second half. So I'm just wondering if they were trying to approach it in a way too. Maybe JB, you know, because I could also see them. They talked about this before that they did do this, but like maybe they knew that they were, you know, obviously they knew they were going against kind of not OKC stars. So like, let's try some other things to see how it works, and we can always fall back on this. But I did think that it was OKC just played good basketball the majority of the game. I would say we had the better second half, and they were just able to go on some runs based on some turnovers. They had, I think, like 30 points off of turnovers, or 30 second chance points, including offensive rebounds. That's a lot. So I think that even though we played better second half, they weren't just going to roll over, and I wouldn't expect them to. They're a young team. So overall, I mean, as we talk about it too, my mind kind of goes back and forth. Like, I'm glad we pulled out this win, and we did it not playing our best. So I can at least hang my hat on that because that's happened. I've said that a couple times this season. It's like we were able to pull out the win despite not playing our best. So
Yeah. And a few other keys we had before we get into the box scores that we had, Boss, was guard the perimeter. That was one of the first ones we had, right? Guard, because we know without Chet, without Hartenstein, they had no interior scoring. Even Jalen Williams, his points came from the perimeter for the most part, right?
Even Shade's a mid-range guy, you know?
Right. So they had to rely on the three ball, and it worked for parts of this game, because the Pistons weren't attached, they weren't closing out. They just didn't defend the three ball well enough consistently in this game. I mean, they won because they're the better team, but it wasn't the cleanest of games. And the other point we mentioned, Boss, before this game was just dominate the paint, which with those two, because of the same reason. Those two guys out, Chet out, Hartenstein out. You got to dominate the paint. I thought JD and I thought Paul Reed did a great job of doing that with their scoring in the interior. Pistons had 70 points in the paint, Boss. 70 paint points.
My
That's
God.
what we've seen them do that this year. I think once they had 80 points this year in one game. So
Yeah.
we've seen the 70s. You know, we've seen that quite a bit this year. And tonight in the game when you got to dominate because of your size, that was good to see. They only had, and the thing is, they only had 13 fast break points. So that just shows you that most of their points in the paint came in the half court.
Yeah.
They made it emphasis to get the ball into the paint and score, whether they're driving, getting downhill, or dumping it down to JD. But they just focused on that and it worked out for them.
And again, that kind of goes to show that it didn't feel like Pistons basketball, but we were still able to get it done because Pistons basketball is a lot of transition. And so the fact that we had to adjust our game in that aspect is great. We talked about it. They got better in the second half, but like I wanted more ball movement. There was a lot of ISO that I didn't love. Some shots weren't going in right away. Some people got hot as the game went on. Totally fine. And I was just, because again, like I said, I was looking at the box score and we definitely spread it out more than OKC did. And that's even with some of our guys that we know that we can rely on not shooting as well. So that gives me good. That makes me feel good because they had 4 guys have 20 or more, which is really impressive. We had 2 guys have 20 or more, and then everybody else made an impact, but less. So the more spread out, more team stuff. But I agree. Like I think that just, again, props to them for making it work in the half court, but also shows that it just wasn't Pistons style basketball today. When the OKC is ranked number 1 in defense. They didn't have Caruso tonight, but like they're good defenders were still on the court. Wallace, Dort, like those are guys that are definitely I would say all defense level. So they took away them, and Cade's the turnovers tonight weren't necessarily off of steals or forced turnovers. They were more kind of unforced. So that's again kind of something that we can learn from and fix. It's fixable.
Yep. And you mentioned just the identity. I did like too that they won the rebounding battle, 52-37. So once again, just taking advantage of your size. Wasn't a clean game. Despite the dirty play or the fact that it wasn't a clean game, they're still able to get wins as long as they play to their identity, at least try to. So I like seeing the rebounding numbers. I like seeing the paint points. When all those fails, you can fall back on that, and that's what they did, which is good too. So yeah, I thought that was good. Frank says Pistons never lost 3 games in a row the entire season, and 2 All-Stars showed. Yeah, that's a positive. They haven't lost more. I think they've only lost 2 straight, like twice, I think, this year, the entire year. So that's good to see as well. And we got another super chat we got to get in from West Lee Snipes. I like the name.
I love it.
What's going on, bro? Said had to tap into the live stream and show Beef Stew some love before the month end. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. I like that hat too, bro. Where are you? Are you in Detroit? You look like you from Texas or something, bro. You from down there with Cade and them boys down there, man. But we appreciate your support, bro. 100%, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I also, you mentioned I want to say that we had only 2 of our guys shot less than 40% tonight. And again, like that's like, watching the game, I think that's why, it's a little bit bothersome because it's like all it really does prove to me is that OKC's bench is as good as their starters, which we have said about our own bench. So we just have to so we still won and we still pulled it out. And while there are mistakes, despite, on offense, it wasn't blatant. Like, I mean, Cade shot 19% last, we really struggled last game. And the guys that shot less than 30% were Daniss and Duncan, who are guys that we rely on 3-pointers.
Yep.
So that could feed into it, but everyone else was 40% or above. I mean, actually most people are 50% or above. So I got to give them props for that too. It means that they were, making the shots that they make. Yeah, they're battling.
Yeah, you got to give them credit, man. They, they're a prideful team too. They're trying to fight for their top spot in the Western Conference, the same way we are in the East. So they're not just going to lay down because guys are out. So
exactly.
Got to give them the proper respect. And I thought the Pistons toward the end of the game and in spurts did it enough. So we'll leave it there, boss. Now let's get into some box scores and take a look into the specifics of this game. Before we do that, let's get to the poll. We got to put the poll up.
Yeah.
Put the poll up, right? So I put it up, and what do you think the results are as to who you thought got the belt, boss? Who do you think the chat thinks got the belt? Between Cade, JD, Ausar, and Dunk.
That's really hard.
Right.
I would pick
a case for a few. Go ahead.
I mean, I would pick. There's a case for All of them. I would say definitely for 3 out of the 4, but I would pick Ausar just because I feel like he came in momentum shifting times and delivered, especially after a game where, it seems like he really needed a bounce back game based on having to be benched or being benched, So, but there's a really strong case for JD, obviously, but I could also see Cade because Cade kind of took over for us when we really needed him to as well. So,
yeah.
But I'd pick Ausar, and I'm going to just say I'll go with chat. The chat picked him too.
Okay. So 40% went to JD.
Okay.
And 35% went to Cade.
Okay.
And 24% went to Ausar. So it's pretty spread out.
It's spread out. It's close.
It's close to in any way. Only one was Duncan at 2%, but at least he got something. He played pretty good. So
yeah.
But yeah, I thought any of those answers could have been correct outside of Duncan. Those 3 guys, I think, all played a great role, a huge role in this game. Heisenberg said Cade. I'm not mad at that. I might have said JD, to be honest, but I'm not mad at Cade either because yeah. Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll check back on the poll a little bit later. But boss, let's get to some box score numbers, and let's start with Cade in this game. Tonight, guys, let me get to it. Tonight, guys, Cade finished with 29 points on 11 for 16 shooting overall, efficient, 3 of 5 from 3, 4 of 4 from the line. 5 boards, 13 assists. He did have 8 turnovers, but 3 steals and 3 blocks for 6 stocks in a hefty 38 minutes, boss. So take off on what you saw. I see what y'all saying now, chat. Take off on what you saw. I didn't realize he did all that. What'd you see from Cade? What'd you see?
First of all, I just want to say I see what you're saying, and I was like, oh, that's incredible. But Ausar's field goal percentage was higher. He had 5 stocks. Like there's arguments for both,
Yeah.
But obviously, this is impressive. 11 of 16 after having a 5 for 25 game is so good. And he didn't get a lot of shots in the first half. He was more of a distributor. He was more off ball. And again, I don't know if that was more strategy from JB just to see if we can work some other, because, you can scrimmage all day, but like to work things into a game, maybe this was the opportunity he thought. But the most impressive thing for me about Cade was his blocks. He had 2 in a row, and then he had another big one. These guys kept going one-on-one with him. Lou Dort went up and saw Cade down there and backed away. He ended up getting it off to someone who made it free, but still, he's like, Lou Dort, who is big and strong, said, actually, no, I'm not gonna go straight to the basket with this. 11 to 16 is fantastic. 3 of 5 from 3, made his free throws. He ended with 5 fouls, and he had 0 fouls in the first half. So this tells you he's playing a little bit more aggressive second half and just wanted to close this out. Another double-double for him. There were some stats I want to talk about. They did throw up on the screen. So the first one, this is his fourth straight game with 10 or more assists and 2 or more blocks. And that is the most in the NBA since 1974, second most since 1974 to 75. Mookie Blaylock in the 90s, I think 99.
The Hawks. Wow.
He had 5 games in a row. So if Cade does this again, he's the best. He ties with Mookie. That was just super impressive to see because again, we talked about it. Jaylen Brown. There's some people out there that argue that they're the better 2-way player, or are there arguments for them being great 2-way players? But 2 blocks and he had 3 tonight. Like that's crazy. And again, he is our main facilitator. The second one it's his 18th game this season with 25 or more points and 10 or more assists. That's second in our franchise. And Isaiah Thomas is first.
Yeah.
Yep, of course, with 22. Cade's 4 games away from that. I think Cade, especially as we get closer to the playoff push, could do it. I could see it going. I think so too. I mean, 18 is a lot at this point. 4 in a short span is a lot, but if it's what we need from him, I can see it. We're playing tougher teams. He's been locking in a little bit more. Yes, last game was probably his worst game of the season for me, but he could do it. And I'm fine with him being second to Zeke too. I'm fine with him.
Yeah. And I'm fine He's probably going to end up being second to Zeke or maybe even first in a lot of categories when it's all said and done. But Zeke is the league holder or the franchise leader in a lot of stuff. So I'm not surprised by that.
So that's amazing. And he just played with his heart. His turnovers were bad though. Like I will say that it wasn't Casey Wallace wasn't forcing steals on him. Lou Dort wasn't blocking him at the perimeter. Cade was a little bit, because there was a couple times even during our live, I was like, I wonder if that was just miscommunication or what it was, but it kind of
Yeah.
seemed like Cade was a little bit trigger happy with the ball. He just kind of
Kinda
passed
forced it
it
in.
before he
Yeah.
really thought about it. And that's just
Yep.
unlike him. So I'll give that, I don't think we'll see that again. It was just kind of that game where I don't know if he just wasn't considering, he just had kind of tunnel vision and wasn't considering everything else going on. Because he had some passes behind, some were miscommunication, some were just him being like, I'm going to get the ball off fast and not considering everybody his surroundings. But so that was a big negative for me, but obviously he continues to make up for it in other ways. And just before, I had one more stat that I should have said pregame because it applies to the whole team, but I've heard people argue the Pistons have the easiest schedule. The Pistons can't win against good teams. The Pistons are now 19-7 versus teams that are over 500. That's the best in the league.
Yeah.
That's the best in the league. And
That's
also,
impressive.
that tells me that half of our losses are to very good teams.
Right.
So those losses are valid.
Right.
And right
100%.
now, and erase 2 of the losses early in the season or something too, because those obviously didn't play out well. But 19-7. That's to be first against teams that are over 500 is incredible, and especially against people who want to continue to make excuses or call this a fluke for why we're at the top.
I agree. I totally agree. Let's get some quick comments here, guys. Let's see. Ben says Cade Wembanyama. I think he's trying to say Wimbaham. Cade Wimbaham. I like that. I like that. Devin says he has, and to Ben's point, he says 11 blocks over. That's almost 3 a game, guys.
It's disgusting.
It's almost 3 a game. Will says March 30th is the rematch. They should have most of their players back then. Let's see. Right. When we're fully staffed and they're fully staffed, I'm looking forward to that game for sure. 100%.
And that game's about 12. I think our last game is April 12th. So that's about 2 weeks before the end of the season.
So yeah.
But I think that they will still play full strength because there's still a race.
For sure.
It's actually a much closer race for them. The Spurs are only a couple games behind them. So I expect them to play for position and play hard and play their whole team. And I mean, I expect us to play hard as well too, but I do expect a healthy OKC.
Yep. I agree. As far as what I saw from Cade, I thought it was a good game. That's why I debated between him and JD. I thought he played a good floor game for the most part. The turnovers were bad, right?
Yes.
But you mentioned the defense. I always say you can tell by how he's feeling physically, by how he's playing defense, how locked in defensively he is, how active he is, how physical he is. Defense. That's how you can tell if Cade's feeling good or not. The blocks were incredible. I don't know why guys keep trying him. The same way they try Stu, they just got to eventually learn. You said Lou Dort turned away from the hoop as if it was Stu there when he saw Cade. It was crazy. But that just goes to boss. I'm so happy that Cade did this and has been doing this on national broadcasts.
Yeah.
So that fans around the league, because everybody's saying, Jalen Brown is the best two-way player in the game. He's great. But Cade is right there, and there's no question about it. I just love when people get the chance to see him like we do every night. We see this all the time with Cade, getting chased down blocks, playing great defense. But when he gets 3 blocks in the games and 3 steals in the games for 6 stocks on the national broadcast, it just puts everybody else on the alert around the league that, he can play defense as well. So I love that. I liked his midi game. He was getting to that midi game quite a bit tonight, just kind of taking what was there. You didn't see too many threes from Cade tonight. I think how many threes did he have tonight? Tonight he took 5 threes. So, but he shot 16 overall. So I just like that he was trying to get downhill and he was trying to get to the midi game to put pressure on their lack of size because they didn't have it. So he did a good job of doing that. And then also, I thought he actually also made great reads. When the double would come, he made the right pass often. He didn't make it right every time, but we saw him, finding a cutter like Ron cutting to the hoop when Cade would get into the lane and Ron would be there or Ausar be there, and he's making the right pass. Did a good job of doing that. The turnovers were bad. It was a few of them. I think Heisenberg actually mentioned it late in the game. He got a steal off of his own defense.
Oh, yeah.
He turned it right back over. It's like a minute left in the game, and he's trying to push. It's like, bro, you're protecting the 5-point lead. You don't need it. Run that clock. The clock is your friend. Right? Exactly, Heisenberg. It's like that was frustrating. But once again, it's like it was some uncharacteristic stuff from Cade we don't usually see. Usually he's aware time and score, all that stuff, right? But it just wasn't there for him tonight fully. And that was one of those plays that was kind of indicative of that. It's like you get a great steal, 40 seconds to go, you're up 5. Don't push. No need to, because the time is more important than the score. So that was one of those plays I'm like, come on, Cade. But, it happens sometimes. I'm not too mad about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. And the midi range, this is why again I think that they kind of went in with a different approach to try different things, because I never like to shoot threes to try to get back into a game because that's not our game. And I
Right.
was waiting for his midi game to turn on. He
Mhm.
didn't really have, he had like 6 points in the first. He ended the half with 9. Like he wasn't shooting. It really turned on in the second half, which again is why I think they were trying some things.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
once his mid range was going, it was so smooth. And see that, like, I feel like he'll be more aggressive and taking more of those shots when we do play against SGA when he's healthy, because those guys are 2 guys that can definitely get the mid range game going. They have some of the smoothest in the league. So, yeah, I think there must have just been some kind of alternative game plan. Because even, I mean, you were talking about it, like he played off ball a lot tonight. Cade played off ball a lot tonight.
Yeah,
It wasn't
he
like he was
did.
being doubled. It wasn't, like, of course he was being pressured bringing the ball up the court, but again, like he never had like a knockaway steal. It was more of his passing. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I can see why. I think the turnovers kind of take away from why he would get the belt compared to JD and AT, but I absolutely understand why he would still,
Yep.
because he turned it on when we needed him. He became our leader when we needed him to.
100%. I totally agree with that, boss. And in the fourth quarter, he made some mistakes here and there, but I really liked how he tried to
He had
close
50?
this game. Yeah, he's at 50 now. Yep.
Wow.
Crazy, right? I liked how Cade just tried to close the game and shut the door on them. He made some big shots. We said it all last year, how in the clutch sometimes we need him to be more present, be able to just take advantage and knock down shots. And tonight he did that. He was like, he played like superstars play late in the game. He made some mistakes, but he made clutch plays down the stretch with his playmaking, his defense, and his scoring. That's what MVP level players do, and that's what he did in this game. I want to get to some quick comments, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan and Daniss too. Yeah, they had their moments as well, but I want to get to these comments. Will says that read from the double to LeVert for the 3 was, yes, it was. I saw that play too. That was great, and that's what we're talking about. It's just it was a little uneven with his decision making, but he showed all year the vision is there. He played quarterback as a kid, so he he knows what he's looking at. Processing speed is there. So yeah, I thought that was great. Also, Kevin says, and in the worst moments, he's going to have to learn. It cost Isaiah 30. That's a great point. That is a great point. It's all a learning experience with these young guys. Growing pains are always going to be there for a young team. Isaiah Thomas, had he not thrown the pass to Bill Laimbeer, which led to Larry Bird getting the score to Dennis Johnson for the layup, that doesn't happen. He probably wouldn't have ring that year in 287, right?
Yeah.
So these things happen to the best of the best. It hasn't happened for Cade in a big moment like this yet. Hopefully he doesn't, and that to that level. But even with the greatest Piston of all time, he made crucial mistakes and crucial moments that cost his team. So it happens to everybody, right? Kobe missed those threes in the playoffs, back to back air ball. Like, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's all about learning from them. Go ahead.
No one is perfect. That would make the game so boring if everyone was perfect. It would so boring. So I definitely agree with that. And also just with Cade, like, again, these guys and what you mentioned too, they're not going to be happy with this win either. They're going to be happy they won, but they're not going to be happy with it. You could tell by their body language, the way that JB was talking to them. I mean, they got OKC had a foul called on them, and JB was out there looking at his guys, just talking. Like, he's just like, what? So there's something
about locked in. Yeah.
And so, and so for me, if you want to think super optimistically, yes, of course, we almost, we pulled out a game against a team that was missing their stars, but we definitely improved from Monday, and we still have so many opportunities to learn from this game. We pulled out a W from a learning game, basically. It's like we won, but we can do so much better. These were crucial mistakes. These were things we could have done better, because even I think their defense was fine. They didn't have, like, no one really had an open 3. There were a couple missed early on, and then like a couple times late. There were a couple missed cuts to the basket, but when you're like a couple things, little things, but they're gonna definitely go back and
for sure
and look at all that and make sure that they don't have communication issues again like they did tonight.
Exactly, boss. Heisenberg says, steal by Bird underneath the DJ. I know, bro. I cannot erase that from my memory ever. I'm never going to be able to. I still got PTSD from that one play, for sure. Devon says, K probably has more blocks than JD. Look that up, man. Look that up, guys.
I actually know how many. I know how many.
Oh, word? Go ahead.
On my rant last time about how I think JD can do better, I kind of looked up him and Cat. I compared him and Cat.
Okay.
Because I think we all can agree that Cat is not as good as maybe he was previously, or I think defensively, he's kind of soft, I would say.
Yeah.
Soft is the word.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And JD does have more blocks than Cat, but 3. Cat has 31 blocks and JD has 34. So Cade does have more blocks than.
Wow. That's impressive. So, yeah, like we say with all these young guys, there's room for growth. We feel like that's an area JD can grow defensively.
Do you know who's 5th in blocks in the league right now is actually Matas Buzelis, the guard from the Bulls.
Shout out to him.
So,
shout out to him.
You know, the bigs need to do better across the league.
Step their game up. Step their game up. Yeah, for sure. And then Lily says we have to go 17-8 the rest of the way to win. Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that. We're gonna win 17-8. We're gonna go 2-1 the rest of the year. Pretty much.
We talked about this on the live, and I'll just say real quick before we move on, but we have this hard stretch. We got Cavs on Friday, Magic on Sunday, Spurs and Cavs next week. Tough. Then it kind of evens out a little bit. It evens out in March. There's a couple of teams. We got the Wolves who we haven't seen yet. We got the Sixers who are hit or miss, but they've been pretty bad lately. This is our hardest stretch of the season. So if we come out over 500 over these next few games, I'm solid.
Yeah.
I think we can do it.
Yeah, 100%. And we're on our way to having a pretty respectable, record on this stretch for sure. So we'll get to that later as well, guys. But yeah, I thought overall Cade played a really good game. The turnovers weren't great, but it's never going to be perfect. I thought he still played a pretty good game. So I'll leave it there on Cade. Let's keep it pushing, boss. Let's go now to Duncan Robinson, guys. Tonight, guys, Duncan Robinson finished with 16 points on 4 for 11 shooting overall. 3 of 9 from 3, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, which is great. 3 boards, 3 assists, 1 turnover, and a steal in 30 minutes, boss. Take off on Dunk. What'd you see?
Oh, Dunk. Okay, so he went 0 for 3 to start the game. Wasn't a great sign. We definitely need, when we're against a 3-point shooting team, we need our 3-point shooters to hit their threes. We don't have, that was a big difference. And again, kind of why looking at the box scores, I'm more impressed than I was watching the game. But OKC, all of them can shoot threes. All of them. Even the ones on the bench, except maybe Hartenstein. I don't think he can shoot threes. But everybody else can. And so we needed a little bit more from him. But he did give us 2 in a row in the third. He missed a couple and then got us another one late. Needed one. And he made up for it by, being out there. He had some good steals. He had some good closeouts. We had 1 steal, but that was after he missed 3 in a row. So he was still out there, doing things, taking advantage of his minutes. We were both kind of questioning him. Maybe a Sar instead of Duncan late in the game. But I think they were just trying to balance offense and defense. And he was starting to get hot in the second. So I don't blame him for being out there. And Wu was hitting as well. So a solid game from Dunk. 3 of 9, I want to see, if you're taking 9 shots, I want to see more like 4 go in. So, I mean, that's just insane.
No, yeah.
It's a little bit nitpicky to be
for our sniper.
True. It's fair. A little bit nitpicky though, to be like, if you had 1 more 3, I'd have better things to say about you. But no, he still played good. He gave effort. I don't think he missed assignments. He wasn't the one they were attacking. He had he had very hard guys to guard tonight, because I was like, wow, I don't really like Duncan on Case and Wallace, but who was the other option? Right. Who else could he guard out there? So he stepped up for the team when it mattered most. Still recording a steal a game, which I love. But yeah, like I said, him and Jenkins were the only ones to shoot less than 40%. Definitely see that go up. And he did draw that. He got that flagrant and foul, and he hit all 3 of his free throws, which is
needed him too.
Unreal in this game. Ask Jamal Murray. Ask Donovan Mitchell. These guys, it's hard to make 3 free throws in a row sometimes. So he did pull that one out after Jay Will did that on the opposite end. So I hope his ankle's okay. It looked.
Yeah, he was all right. I think
he did play the rest of the game, but that could be a little bit of adrenaline. But I do hope his ankle is all good, because that's the last thing we need right now is any
100%. 100%. So quick comments, boss. Mauser says 1 game away from our win total last season. That is crazy. That is crazy. With 25 games to go, that's insane. That's insane. Doug said, "Okay, dudes, what's up with Middleton? What's up with Middleton? We're coming, bro. Be patient. We got you, man. We got you. If you guys
need to sleep, come back and watch. But we're gonna get to it after box.
We're gonna get to it.
We have our thoughts, and we want to hear yours too.
100%. What I saw, boss. Everything you saw is what I saw. The only thing I'll add to that is because he's our best shooter on this team, without question. He's our sniper, right? That's why we need him. He can't be hurt for long, otherwise it's gonna be trouble. But I still like how, despite that, he's a very unselfish player. He's a very willing passer, right? A few times in this game, boss, I saw him make that extra swing. A lot of time, me and Eric would always say when we play pickup ball, it's like we wide open. It's like swing, and the swing don't come because you got selfish guys who want to score or shoot the ball who can't shoot. And I can shoot. Eric can shoot. Eric can shoot too. It's plenty of times it's like swing, clank. You know what I mean? But like with Duncan Robinson, man, like he made some extra swing passes to guys who aren't as good of a shooter as him, but he made the right pass because it's the right play to make.
Yeah,
I love seeing that. He had a few of those tonight. One was to, I think one was for Cade, and one was for Javonte Green, who made a big three.
Yes,
so he passed up a good shot for a better shot.
Yeah,
I love the unselfishness that Duncan Robinson plays with. Of course, you want him to shoot the ball because he's our best shooter, but I just love how he is always encouraging ball movement and not holding the ball. And because guys can get frustrated sometimes when they're open, the swing doesn't come, and you don't hit the shot. That can make them be like they're going defense, getting back.
Yeah.
It can drag.
That's why he has 3 assists.
Exactly.
They're not loud.
Exactly.
They're giving it to the other guy, because Kevin brings up a good point here. We definitely need Duncan to hit better than 33% from 3, but the threat he provides out there is vital. And that's why he's able to, because when you got Jenkins next to you, which is one of the passes he made, and you get the ball, Jenkins guy comes over to help guard, and then you can give it to Jenkins. So that's exactly the threat that he is out there is definitely a big plus.
Yep. So I just like to see that, because once again, guys are going to close out to him. And when they do, you're going to provide better shots for guys who may not be to shoot as good as you, but they'll shoot at a higher clip because they're getting a wide open shot, because they're not paying attention to you. They're paying attention to Duncan Robinson. So I think that's going to be huge. I think it's just the unselfish play and the willing passing ability that he has, and that he kind of encourages with other guys. So I thought that was good. D says, I honestly think that Chaz would probably be a better shooter than. Wow.
I could see it.
That's a lot. That's a tall task, but Chaz is a shooter, man. Like JB's already said this year that he could see him going off of 30 points in the game off the bench, because he's one of those guys like Clay, doesn't need to dribble a lot, just catch the ball. Once he sees one go in, watch out. He can get hot quick. So I can see that too, D.
And I said this before when we talked about it earlier in the season, but we're so used to using our rookies right away, to having to use our rookies right away. It's kind of nice that Chaz gets a development year. He's popping off in the G League. He's doing great with the crews. He's still someone that I think we could call on if we absolutely need to. Yep. I could see us, adding him to the rotation next season. But we're so lucky to have him there. But I definitely look forward to his progression in the NBA, because his catch and shoot is ridiculous. And if we haven't seen enough of it, maybe on the Crews, but on the Pistons, I haven't seen enough of, like, I'm not sure how he moves off ball. I don't know what he does on defense.
He's a great mover.
Some little things. Fantastic. So those are all things that fit right in. And if he's, on our G League team, the team that we practice with as well, all he's doing is forming, meshing more, molding more into our type of play and what we ask for from our perimeter shooters. So I don't see – Duncan's a vet, and he's been in the league, and he's been a threat for a long time, so I'm not ready to put that. But Chaz can shoot just as well as Duncan, and he could definitely –
I think, listen, man,
as well too.
I'm not going to say – I'm seeing somebody comment saying, like, he's not – based on what?
Yeah.
We haven't seen him at the NBA level yet. Like, we don't know if he's going to be or not.
And
that's the thing. Like, maybe – we're not going to say definitively he's going to – we're not saying he's definitely all right. I'm just saying I've seen enough from him to believe that he can be at least close to that level. And I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes better, because the dude his shot is so wet, bro. Like I don't know. So I'm not gonna say that he is gonna get there. I'm just saying it's not out of the question that he can. I think he can.
They also have slightly different styles. I don't like to compare guys who have like slightly different styles, because like even Bees is a little, I feel like Duncan and Bees are more similar. But Chaz's catch and shoot is insane.
Crazy.
It's absolutely insane. He catches it high, he shoots it right away, it goes in. It's disgusting. Like, it's just like I haven't seen anything else in the league like it. I know that the Celtics, I know Pritchard can get it up. I know Jarek White can get it up. I know these guys can get it up fast, but not Chaz fast. So but yeah, I do agree. Like,
and this is just looking ahead too. Just looking ahead as far as potentially what he could be, right? So yeah. I agree. But anyway, back to Duncan. I thought, he's a boy can shoot. Like you gotta like, if you haven't watched him with the Crews, D actually has. She's paying attention. Go check out some of those games.
Yeah.
It's not the same as the NBA level, but you can still see the ability that he just has to naturally shoot the basketball. Like, I'm not overselling it, y'all. Like, he can really shoot the ball. So we'll see down the line. But getting back to Duncan, I thought he was really good tonight, boss. I thought on both sides, the effort was there defensively, the shot making was there in the second half, the ball movement was there, the play movement was there. He was just solid tonight. I thought he was really good tonight.
Yeah. I just want to address this real quick. Chaz wasn't on the roster tonight. What's going on with him? He's just on G League assignment.
Yeah.
So when he's assigned to the G League, they have games. They have away games. And I just want to do this too. We're contending for a title, unacceptable DMPs for a second round rookie. Who's playing a second round rookie right now? That's contending.
I think he's asking, like, is it like, I think he's saying, like, we shouldn't be surprised that he's getting DMPs. Yeah,
okay.
we agree.
Sorry.
We agree. We're not, And that's why I said that we're projecting out for Chaz as far as, like, he's a rookie as far as what he can be. But boss, you made a great point. We don't have to play him right now. We're not in position where we got to put guys in uncomfortable spots because we need talent. We're past that now.
Our rookies were basically starters the past few years, so it's nice that he gets some time to develop.
Yes, and he's got good size too, McLemore. 6'4", I think he's 6'5", so that's good. All right, boss, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Ausar, Tasmanian backbone of the defense, Thompson. Tasmanian Thompson, guys, tonight finished with 11 points on 5 for 7 shooting, 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Yikes. 4 boards, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 steals, and 2 blocks for 5 stocks. Okay, it has 6 stocks. Ausar's right behind him with 5 stocks in 28 minutes. So many more minutes than the 18 he played last night, boss. So
we'll get there.
Stuff there. Go ahead, take off.
There, but just because I was thinking it when you said it, and then meanwhile Paul ended with 4 stocks.
Wow.
He ended with 4 blocks.
But
he
didn't need no steal.
But AT. Okay. I loved what he was doing tonight. He really did. How many turnovers he had? He had
3.
3 turnovers and those were kind of early. There were some passes as well. Against again a great team that is number 1 defense and number 1 offense in the NBA. So, so can fault him a little bit, but not too much. 11 points, and a lot of those were from in front of the basket, a few feet away.
Yeah.
Some fadeaways, some turnarounds. He looked really smooth. His decision-making was much better tonight. He decided if he wanted to pass it or go to the basket. He has some great 7 assists is fantastic. He has some great looks under the basket to people. Like there were a couple that I was like, oh my God, where is that going? And he threw behind him to Duren. Like he was seeing things out there that we couldn't see on the TV until it happened. That was super impressive. If he had made his free throws, it would have been, a 15-point game or 14. And like that's just for 28 minutes. That's really impressive of Ausar. His offense was much better tonight. His defense was obviously incredible. Because after a game that we're coming off, there's no answers to it. We don't know. We can only speculate, and we're not going to speculate too much because we don't know what goes on within the team. But to come back from a benching and play like this just shows me that he understood his mistakes and he learned from them, and he showed coach and the team that he can go out there and do better. Absolutely. The 3 steals were amazing. He played great closeout defense. He played great perimeter defense. He only had 1 foul, which is very impressive for him. And truly nothing negative to say. Also, 71% field goal is fantastic. He drove it a couple times and got the benefit of the foul call. But with the missed free throws, it's like, and we talked about it too in the live, like I'm wondering what's keeping him back from dunking. Like, why not finish with 2 hands? Why sometimes the soft touch, because the soft touch either rolls off on the side or it goes too hard. I've yet to see him, and we've seen him. We saw him. I think he missed he missed this jumper, but I saw him jump over. You could see his entire torso up from the defender because he's athletic. He's like him and his brother are like top 5 at most athletic in the league, I would say. And so I just wonder why he doesn't dunk, because I'd rather he try to dunk and miss the dunk and get the foul call than put up 1 and still get the foul call and miss the free throws, So
that's the thing. That's the thing, though. I think it's a 2 thing. I think he shies away from contact. It seems like he just shies away from contact because he tries to get out of the way of the contact instead of trying to go. A few times he could have just went over and tried to dunk over top. Right. I think it's a lot of what you said, though, about the free throws. I don't know if he's confident that he'll be able to knock him down consistently when he gets there.
That's true.
To want to draw the foul call as opposed to just going in, use athleticism, get around the guy and lay it up. Because he was 1 of 4 again. So I'm just wondering if that's playing a part as far as the confidence to go to the line to be able to knock him down.
A good point, because it might not even be shying away from the contact, but trying to get around the defender to score. So it might just be that mindset of like, oh, but if I get around him, I can get the ball in easier, rather than like, oh, I'm too nervous for contact. It's just more like, oh, I want to make sure that I produce on this offense. So I'm gonna just get around the defender instead. But his at the rim touches just aren't the best yet. So they are improving when he gets there. I love the mid-range jump shot. He had a really nice, he took one from the free throw line that Cade fed him, and Cade screened for him. And that just shows, again, the trust that Cade has in him. I've said this before. Like, Cade could have easily just taken that, but he gave it to Ausar to get his comp, because he knows what Ausar is working on. And he made that, and that was incredible. But yeah, he could have, it's hard to critique him. Again, now it's kind of just a little bit like nitpicking, because he did have a fantastic night on both ends of the floor. He did some stuff that we haven't seen from a lot of him, like fading away and taking the jump shots. But I feel like he would have put up 4 or 5 more points if he had been able to finish at the rim on some of those foul calls.
Yeah. A couple quick comments I want to get to, guys. We'll keep it pushing. Let's see. D. Davis says Tornado Thompson. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like it.
Sean says, are we going to pay Ausar for what he could be or what he is? That's the only real question with Ausar. I think that's a question that nobody knows the answer to right now.
Yeah.
I think because next year he's going to be the contract year, the same way J.I. was in contract year this year. I think, Trayton just wants to see how things look when we get to that point, and there's not really much to say right now because he's still growing, and who knows what he's going to look like by the end of the season, by the end of the offseason, next season. So I think they'll kind of just cross that bridge when they come to it, but they're just making plans either way.
And
then,
add,
go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to say, I think Trajan will treat him the same way that he's treated JD and how he was treating JI, and not sign him until his contract year is up. I don't expect a contract extension or anything for Ausar this offseason. I think they will play another season. It'll be kind of the same thing. They obviously, I trust their judgment with them because they see more about what he's working on behind the scenes. But I think he'll just treat it the same. I don't see anybody, especially like JD, that he's making sure that these guys can live up to their expectations by not extending JD when he could have. He's just and JD is obviously living up to his expectations and beyond. So I think he'll just give that same opportunity to Ausar as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's just being consistent with his approach. Right. So that's good to see. At least he's been consistent with the approach.
Exactly.
As far as what I saw, whatever JB said to Ausar last game, it seemed to have worked out for the better this game.
Yeah.
Because I thought Ausar played one of his better games on both sides in a while. Everything was tough defensively for them. He was a hawk, and he wasn't picking up a bunch of cheapy fouls like we've seen him do in the past, right? He was playing just straight up defense while still making plays on defense. And then this offensively, he was just much more decisive. We saw him sometimes directing traffic, like, no, go here. Go. Like he was, so it's like I like that assertion, the assertiveness that he has and how he's being more aggressive and more confident. And the interior passing was great too. He made some nice interior passes to guys for easy buckets. That was great to see. And you mentioned the midi. I love the midi game for him. It seems like he's getting more and more confident just because he's got the quickness to get by his guy and to get to the pull-up midi. He's got that. He's got the quickness to do that. So I like seeing him do that more. And then lastly, there was a nice stretch in the second quarter where he just made it was a sequence of defense to offense plays where he made a nice pass to a cutter. He got by his guy, got to the hoop, and I think it was JD. It wasn't a cutter. JD under the rim for a dunk. That was nice. Right down the court, he makes a nice block, pins it off the glass. That leads to another run out. And he found I think JD for a oop after that.
Yep.
So 3 positive plays back to back to back. The dish, the block, the lob. Like just the two-way ability that he has was great to see. That was on display as well. So I like how he's just taking incremental growth. I know he's not where we want him to be offensively, but just find ways to be impactful offensively. Just find ways consistently to be impactful. That's all we're looking for him for right now until that jump shot hopefully comes around. So Rodney says Ausar is going to be a Pistons for life. Okay, I'm not mad. He's going to have to take some leaps if he's going to be that. He's going to have to grow offensively. I think if he's going to be that, either that or we just bring in more offensive talent, one or the other. But I think either way, he just needs to continue to grow his game and just be consistent offensively in some way, shape, or form. If we get that, I think he'll be just fine. So we'll see.
I think he's had a much better season than last season. Like he's growing as the season
for sure.
that's
sure.
exactly what we want from our guys.
For sure.
And tonight he did more. Tonight I was just very impressed with his aggressiveness on the offensive end. His defensive end aggressiveness is usually always there. I feel like that was the reason he was benched last game, but tonight it was back and he was fine. He was the star that we know him to be. Still will always say that he's one of the top defenders in the league. Absolutely.
100%. And Shakir, you're not wrong, bro. It was some bonehead plays in there too. The over and back with him and Cade, the communication stuff was just a little bit off tonight.
Communication, exactly, and that's why it just didn't feel right because usually that's been our strength. We've been very good at communicating. It's been it's been hard for us to turn. It has been more forced turnovers than not. So, but I do think he's getting better. And if I see this kind of offensive aggressiveness from him going forward, I'm thrilled.
Gonna be in good shape. For sure. All right. So I liked it, boss. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go now, boss, to Uncle T, Tobias Harris in this game.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Struggle Nation. Last 2 games now. Tonight, guys, he finished with 4 points on 2 for 5 shooting overall, 0-2 from 3. Still got in the boards, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block in 24 minutes. So, boss, I will let you take off on Uncle T first. What did you see or not see in this game? What did you think about it?
Yeah, so basically, his only positive really was the rebounds, but I have to give that to him. Again, he keeps stepping up his rebounds when we're missing guys on the court like Stu. This is like the 3rd game out of the 4 games that Stu's been gone so far, or 5 games, that Tobias has been the 2nd place or 1st place in rebounds. He's 2nd to JD tonight. And all of them were defensive. He had 8 defensive rebounds, so that's big to me. Yeah. It means he's putting himself in the right position to get those and grab those. Not a great offensive game. 2 of 5. It's still 40%. So he also just wasn't finding his shot. And he started off pretty well. He made a shot early, got a shot later on. 0 of 2 from 3. So 2 of them are threes. Which means that he missed 2 of 3 in the paint. So not terrible there. It was his defense for me. And here's what I commend guys on having low fouls. He only had 1 foul, which means that he absolutely had space to be more aggressive. Mm-hmm. And there were times that guys just blew by him. He wasn't able to stop ball. He defended lightly. He played like he was in foul trouble, basically, on the defensive end. And for me, it's just more like, again, especially towards the end of the game, he only played less than 24 minutes tonight. So props to JB for recognizing that. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't able to produce on offense. The rebounds were huge. I think he did pretty good with the spacing. But then, just with the defense, no turnovers or anything. But he absolutely could have been more aggressive. And I would rather see him foul more early than just let easy baskets go by. So, not the greatest game, but he did have his highlights and his lowlights. Positive. And negative.
So I won't rehash what you said because what you said is accurate and I still need to say it again. But I'm going to comment on what Heisenberg said. He said, Unc hasn't been getting his stats, but he doesn't force anything and he hasn't been hurting us. So I'm going to push back on you, Heisenberg, which is rare because we always see things the same way almost all the time. But offensively, I agree. But defensively, I'm concerned because this is the 2nd or 3rd game in a row now where I'm seeing he's just not able to keep up. Like guys were just going right by him on the perimeter. Tonight I saw who was it? Isaiah Joe or Wiggins. Those guys are just getting right by him from the top of the key to the paint. And you see B-Ball Paul got to come over and help, and the rotations have to you got to rely on that. I'm never going to call him a cone. I'm not going to be disrespectful, but he's not able to stay in front, guys. And for me, that's something that's a little bit worrisome. I know he's 33, I think 32 at this point, but I'm just concerned about the defense at times. He's gotten much better on the boards. But you got to be able to stay in front or provide at least some kind of resistance because guys are just kind of just going right by him. Yeah. And that it's hard to defend as a team when that's happening over and over again. So that was the only thing that I saw that really glaringly stood out for me. Offensively, I'm fine with that. Not always going to be there. But defensively, it's tough when you're making your defense have to become, kind of compromised in that sense because you're not able to stay in front of your guy.
Yeah. And I do want to mention these because both Fanny and Khris commented on it. They've been double teaming Unc T. Yeah, I noticed that too. And Khris as well. The double team is coming to him on that baseline more often now. And I'm not sure if he has any other bread and butter spots. The double team is coming. And but again, 2 of 5. I'm not mad about that. It's more the defense, like Juice was saying. But they have been double teaming him more, which is kind of insane because I didn't see a lot of doubles on Cade. They know that Uncle T can do damage to them in the half court. He's probably one of the more damaging Pistons. I would say Cade and Tobias could do damage in the half court. More than a lot of the other ones. So, but tonight it was more defense, lack of defense, and like I said, and you can continue to, but just like I was shocked to read they only had one foul because he was playing like he kept racking them up and was trying to, he could be a little bit more aggressive against these young guys,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. It's just the defense that I'm looking for. I need more of it. I got to have some kind of resistance. Hollywood said that's fair. He can get beat off the dribble. Yeah, that's really it, bro. It's just that's the only thing I'm concerned about. That's why I've said that you guys have heard me say to exhaustion. I want to see Isaiah Stewart eventually start. It just encourages how we want to play, gives us a bigger lineup in the playoffs. We're gonna play bigger teams.
Yeah,
I think we need a 2 big lineup, and then you can let Tobias, who's getting double teamed against these starters, let him do that with against bench guys. Let him get off in the second unit against bench guys. He'll have a much easier time, I think. And it'll work out for both units, in my opinion. So we'll see how it plays out. But D. Davis, he's half-court player. And that's great to have. It's great to have in the playoffs because the game is going to slow down. But it just makes you wonder about at times when it's like, would we have had to play in the half-court on these possessions if we had Stu in there to help get us stops and get us out in transition? You know what I mean? So it's the goose. What comes first? The chicken or the egg kind of thing. Like, what do you pay more attention to? And for me, since we are a defensive team, just makes more sense to have Stu in there. So I'll leave it there. Y'all know where I'm at with that. Anything else, boss?
I just give credit to OKC for basically kind of understanding that he's a guy that they can blow by on defense. So let's slow down his offense too. And that's exactly what they did. That's great. Right. That's great film. That's great notes. That's great coaching on their part.
Yeah. He says, Unc is Antonio McDyess. I call him Corliss Williamson, bro. I think he's Corliss Williamson. How Corliss Williamson wasn't extremely athletic, couldn't jump out the gym. But he's just very polished offensively in that post. Whether you were more athletic, whether you were taller, shorter, stronger, weaker, he's gonna get a good shot if he can get it off in half court and post. That's kind of he brought me on. Go ahead, boss.
McDyess is pretty. He came to us off of a knee injury. So he was more in his after prime. But McDyess was one of those guys that like, no matter who you were playing, he found his spot and you just knew it was going in. Like he could just shoot from the same spot, where I think Tobias does a little bit, like you said, Deuce, like does a little bit better of finding, like, going one-on-one, going like that. McDyess is they're similar, but they're
McDyess.
I can see it.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah, Corliss, man. You know what's up, Kev. All right, guys. The back, it couldn't be stopped. I remember watching Kenyon Martin in the conference finals get so frustrated because he would be guarding him, and Kenyon Martin was taller, he was more athletic, he was strong, but he just could not stop Corliss Williamson from scoring because his just his savvy and his footwork in that painted area, which is too good. So good comparison. I think that's the one to go with. But I hear y'all, man. Boss, let's keep it moving. Let's go now to our last starter, Jalen Duren, guys. Tonight, guys, he finished with 29 points. To tie the team with Cade as far as points. Also had 12 for 17 shooting overall, 5 for 7 from the free throw line, which is great. I think he missed his first 2 and made the next 5, which is good. 15 boards, 2 assists, no turnovers, and a block.
Yeah.
Only 30. I know he's going to get hyped for that. I knew boss is going to get hyped for the block. In 31 minutes, boss. So take off on what you saw from JD.
I love it. It's kind of funny because we talked about it a little bit early. Deuce and I talked about, he's like, I'm just going to kind of watch JD to see what you notice. I think last game I was a little hard on him. I don't know if I'm just spoiled. I think I'm just spoiled by JD and Stu together. I think it's more just missing Stu and not getting those big defensive plays. And I'm blaming it on JD when we know that he can get it done on the boards and on offense for sure. They're just 2 different style centers, and that's okay. But JD tonight, I feel like he started a little bit slow, like the rest of the team.
He did.
He was getting boxed out by Jay Will. He was kind of standing around. He wasn't breaking down rebounds with 2 hands, little things. And then he turned it on, and it was fine from there. Just like everybody else, just kind of like felt the moment. It's like, hey, like I actually, got to play a little bit more aggressively. I mean, 29 points on 12 of 17 is very impressive. 5 of 7 from the free throw line, which 7 free throws even just feels big for anyone on our team. We don't get calls often. So for him to get to the line that many times is huge. The rebounds, 5 offensive, 10 defensive, that really turned up in the second half. Again, I think that correlates with what we were saying, how they had more rebounds than us in the first half. And again, and I said JD was a little bit slower, and then he turned it on and it was all good. Yep. To have 2 assists as well, just another very impressive show out by JD. Gosh, he was so close to 30. I said I wanted him to have a 30-15 game. I said that in the live.
Yeah,
he made one more.
You did.
He would have. But I mean, getting closer and closer. Look, all I said is I wanted 20 and 10 from him, and he's done that consistently throughout the new year. Definitely played like an all-star tonight. Picked it up. Jay Will, again, he put on 30. He's their 4. He's usually their power forward, but he was still a big guy. He's still tough. I don't know if that
player, man. Yeah.
I don't know if that messed with Duren a little bit that way. And we didn't feed him. We fed him a little bit in the beginning, then we kind of didn't, and then we did again. So he definitely could have done better. But I'm not going to complain about it. Like, he had a fantastic night, and I just hope this continues, because now we get to go against the 2 bigs, the Mobley and Allen, on Friday. And Allen especially has really stepped it up for them. And I told you too, I feel like and people have been saying it a lot today. They said that the Cavs did lose today. The Cavs lost to the Bucks.
Oh, they lost to the Bucks?
They lost to the Bucks.
Did Harden play?
He did, but guys, let me know. I think he did, but let me know if you guys could tell if his shooting form was off. I'm curious what you think that their reason for their loss. If you watched it, if not, no worries. I'll watch highlights later. I'll figure it out. But we talked about it. Sometimes it feels like he plays more aggressive against a bigger name. Maybe he plays a little down sometimes.
Up and down to the competition.
Yeah. Just sometimes that's maybe how it feels. But I think, to me, it's like he just has he has all these levels, and he's like right here right now. And just imagine if he goes here in a game, he could easily.
He's not even close either. I'm not
talking about a ceiling. I'm just talking about energy wise. Like, imagine if he started the game energy wise. Like, this was how he could have started, and he started here, and then he made up for it, but only got to here. If he was here, he could easily have had like a 35-20 game, I feel. And that's just good. But he's turning it up. I'm appreciating that. But so I can't say any complaints about JD tonight and what he did, because he really helped us. Again, him and Cade both helped us in big moments.
He's been stepping his game up, man. Like on both ends. Like, it's nice to see him start to record blocks now, because we've asked for that, for him to give us a 2-way play or things like that. And it seems like he's making more of a concerted effort to do that, right? It seemed like he's a little bit tired at times. He is in better shape than he was last year, for sure. But he's battling, man. He's on the offensive glass, fighting tooth and nail, getting hacked. And I think he was a little bit bothered by Jalen Williams' 3-point shot tonight, because he wasn't really defending that well. McLemore says, I was going to comment on this. McLemore says, JD is dominant. He don't know how to dominate yet. Once he realizes he is dominant, he's going to be unstoppable. He is the most dominant player I've seen since Shaq. So you know what's funny about this? This just shows there are levels to this. Really quick. Just shows these are levels to this, because Draymond Green earlier this year said that the difference between old JD and new JD is that he now knows how to use his body. That's why Draymond couldn't do anything with him this time. We've seen in years past, he's like, how is this little dude standing JD up, and why is JD shooting fadeaways on Draymond Green? This year, in the game they played, he couldn't stop him at all. But yet, McLemore is still saying, because of the skill level, he's still nowhere near. So it just shows you, when he's getting 29 and 15 and 25 and 14 last game, he still has a ways to go to get to that ceiling of being just extremely dominant, boss.
But for me, because he said JD is dominant, he don't know he's dominant. That's exactly what I've been trying to put into words, and you found the words for me. It's like, I'm critical on JD because it's like, I think you're the best center in the East. Play like it. And he is 29 and 15 is nothing to scoff at. It's so impressive.
But those are all NBA numbers, bro.
At this point, I know he can do more, and he's only going to get better. But there are, like, again, in the moments, like, go grab that rebound, rip it down, go up strong, use your elbows. Like, get it. That's what I want to see from him from start of the game to the end of the game. I like that you said it that way, because that's exactly, like I've been saying. Like, people are like, you're hard on JD. It's like, I'm just not trying to find the words. Like, he didn't do bad. This is what it is. He is dominant. go out there and act like you're the number one big in the East because you are.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
100%. I totally agree. I think
Yeah.
like I think it's still a little bit mental, like you mentioned, as far as playing up and down sometimes. We see him when he gets up for games and when he's locked in, he plays the entire game that way. And I'm not saying that he doesn't give effort, because I think what we saw last year, I said this to you earlier, what we saw last year at the beginning of the year was just wildly inconsistent to start the season. It's like, bro, you got all these skills and tools. What's going on? We know you can be better than this. I'm seeing that at times this year, but not nearly as much as I saw it last year. Right? Because we saw it, it was ridiculous last year. He averaging like 10 and 9. It's like, bro, what's going on, bro? You're way better than this.
So much better.
Yeah. Like before, it would be like consistent over like a 2 or 3 game inconsistency stretch, and he played well. Now it's more so like quarters instead of games.
Mm-hmm.
So he is, and he's 22, right? So he still has a ways to go as far as this goes, too, as far as treating every single game, every possession, every minute like it's the game 7 of the finals. Just bringing that same approach the way Stu does, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's gotten way better than that. That's the thing. He's gotten way better than he has over between last year this time to this year this time. Way better, way totally different player. So he just still has a ways to go in his progression mentally to always have that mentality. And having a guy like Stu is going to help him get there. I think by the time JD's 25, 26, we're not going to have these conversations about this, because he's going to have done it long enough and consistently enough.
We talked about like Stu's impressive rim protection, and this is 5 years in the making. So he's getting better every year. And that's, if we approach that kind of mindset with JD as well, then that's what we should expect from him. Stu really locked into his craft, and it rushed his film a lot. It's something he prides himself on, his timing and everything. And even just, working on Duren with that for a couple of seasons is going to massively improve that throughout Duren's career. So, yeah.
Couple more comments, because you guys y'all are cooking tonight with these comments. Let's get to this real quick. Let's get to Heisenberg first. Heisenberg says he has mental lapses on defense, but I feel like that doesn't happen as much as when he's on the court with Stu. Exactly. That's why I want Stu there with him. You get it, bro. He seems more locked in then. He's more locked in, and it's also easier because I love Tobias Harris, but JD has to be the primary defender in the paint when Tobias Harris is out there, because he's the only guy who really can be a threat. So with Stu, it just allows for more room for error. You can be a little bit more flexible with your defense with Stu. So that's a big part of it. I think we see a better JD with a better Stu. And 2 more. Devon says JD improves his conditioning in the offseason. And it's right. And it's crazy, bro, because that's what he improved this offseason. His conditioning. Last year, his conditioning was not great at all. That's why he was saying he had to cut the candy out and go to the grapes, right? To taking care of his body. But so even still, though, like you say, he has a few more levels to go to get to that level of prime JD. So I agree. And then 313 says JD last season couldn't stay on the court. That's the biggest difference. Now he's got way more confidence. And that's another thing, boss, because what I said often last year is JD kind of reminded me of a guy like Andre Drummond at times. A guy who played great the first 2 minutes of the game, 3 minutes of the game, give you 5 points, 3 boards, a steal, a block, and an assist in like 3 minutes. And then second foul, got to go sit down until the second quarter. Like that was so frustrating. But now we're not seeing that with JD. We're not seeing him get in foul trouble as often. He's playing smarter defensively. So he's making a lot of he's making a lot of jumps. He's making a lot of leaps. Yep. It's just we see how good he can be, and we're a little impatient because we want it now. But he's 22. He's 22. Right. These are the growing pains with a young team. You got to give him time to take a few steps back and take a bunch more forward over time. So that's all I got on JD.
Agreed. I have to take my hourly break real quick. Do you want to check the poll and I'll be right back?
Let's check that poll real quick, y'all. Let's see where we're at with that. And then we'll get to some more comments on JD if you guys have them. Okay, who gets the belt? You guys are holding strong with JD at 41%, with Cade Cunningham coming in at 38%. Then we have Ausar Thompson at 19%, and Duncan Robinson is holding it down with his 2%. So let's get to a few more comments. Ben Ortiz said, I wish he would train with Hakeem. Man, I wish. I think Hakeem is he primarily with the Rockets now? I think he's primarily working with the Rockets now. I wouldn't mind this fast Cam. Yeah, get with Sheed, bro. And the thing is, he probably already is. Because, guys, he actually worked with Rasheed. Rasheed was his coach. Rasheed was his coach, assistant coach at Memphis when JD was there. It was Sheed, Penny Hardaway, and Larry Brown. Penny was the head coach, and Sheed and Larry Brown were the assistant coaches. All guys that, Larry Brown and Sheed, they had that connection with North Carolina. and all that stuff. So JD has worked with Rasheed, and I would love to see him continue to work with Rasheed because he can really grow his game to another level working with a guy like Rasheed Wallace, man, for sure. All right, let's get to Heisenberg says, Stu being on the floor automatically demands more defensive intensity. Yes, he just raises the floor of the exactly, bro. You can't be out there with him and not be inspired to play defense, to play harder. So I totally agree. Just another reason why I want to see JD and Stu start. What's up, boss?
I was just noticing someone told me to tap in real quick to I'm looking for the comments. Yeah, Sarah, do you have an eye on the Nuggets? Celtics are in a tough one back and forth. Nuggies are up 64-61, but there's like less than 4 minutes left in the third. What a low-scoring game. That's crazy.
I like
it too. I'm curious if it's because everyone's off or if the Nuggets are playing defense for once.
Yeah,
but
100%.
But yeah, keep us updated on that as we go through because obviously a Celtics loss would benefit us. So
right, that's a fact. Yeah, go Nuggies for once. All right, boss. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to some bench guys, shall we? And let's see how that played out. So, boss, let's start with Daniss Jenkins tonight. Tonight, Tank guys finished with 4 points on 2 for 6 shooting, 0-2 from 3, 3 boards, and only 13 minutes tonight, boss. So, what did you see from Daniss Jenkins tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. This is the second game in a row he's registered no assists. And as a guy that we know can facilitate and play make. He only played 13 minutes, so what can you do? 2 of 6, though. His three ball has been a little off. He's coming a little short on his shots.
It has been.
It's like 3 games in a row, it's been a little short. People are saying, he got paid, all this stuff. No. I just think it's just the slump that we've seen guys go through before, any guy. And to have him have a slump, and this is again why I think it was a close game tonight. Why we only lost to the Spurs by 10, even though 10 seems like a big number against the Spurs. It's really not the way that we were shooting.
Yep.
So it'll click. It'll come back. But he was out there. He played good defense on guys. Didn't register a stock, but I know he was disruptive. The shots that he did make were timely. He didn't have any fouls. He didn't have any turnovers, nothing like that. So didn't harm us. But I'm looking forward to him finding his groove again in these units. But also, I want to see him out there more with Cade. We didn't see him a lot out there with Cade. We saw him a lot out there with LeVert, where they made LeVert the main ball handler. And this is something we've talked about. Like, LeVert does better off ball. And that's kind of when he started getting his shot going in the second half, too, was when he was off ball. So maybe it was just more experimentation and everything. But yeah, I'm sure Daniss doesn't love his numbers either. But like I said, it didn't hurt us. A game that was close. So
yeah, Kevin says he's slumping and even to go through this now rather than the playoffs. 100% agree there. Heisenberg said his stroke has been off lately. I think he's in his own head a bit. Yeah, rookie wall could be a few things, right?
Yeah.
But we know he started off great for us this year. He hasn't been bad. He just hasn't been the level of Daniss we saw that we all felt should have warranted him getting the contract, right? Yep. So like Kevin said, it's better for him to go through that now, learn from his mistakes now, find his stroke now, so that way by the playoffs, he's back to the guy we saw early this season. So that's all I got on him. Yeah, it wasn't a bad game, wasn't a great game, but it's just an game for him. It's not the Daniss we expect to see, but he did make some plays and he did close. I think Michael said that he did close this game, which is a good sign. We always say guys who don't start but sometimes finish. It shows the trust that that coach has in these guys. So he doesn't make a ton of mistakes. He doesn't hurt you. It's just more so we're used to seeing him be more impactful than he was tonight. On both sides of the basketball.
Exactly. But it's gonna come back. This is just it's gonna come back. Yeah. Real quick, Sarah, what about Sass for a minute? We'll get to him, I think, when we get to Huerter and stuff. They kind of all go hand in hand, but we'll talk about him for sure because we had some questions about that on the live as well. So
boss, let's go to Caris LeVert in this game. Tonight, guys, Caris LeVert finished with 9 points on 3 for 6 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, 2 from the free throw line, 1 assist and 2 turnovers in 17 minutes. So take off on Caris.
Yeah, the way he was playing early, you guys got me on the live too. Like, I'm not even mad. Be valid. He got into foul trouble. The last foul is just kind of like, we're going to call that after they weren't calling things.
Yeah.
Only 2 turnovers isn't what we want to see, but it's not bad compared to what it could have been too. His shots were a little off to start, but then when we really needed him to, he stepped up and he started making baskets. He had nice feeds. He only was given 1 assist, but when he gets under the rim is again where I think he finds the best targets. Today he gave it to JD, the one that they challenged for the out of bounds, and that was just because it was deflected. Otherwise, it was a good look. So I'll give him. He had a terrible first half, much better second half. 9 points. A basket away from getting, but I want to see him as at least for us. I want to see him closer to the 12-point range and a few more assists. If that's the role he's playing. But again, like not chucking up shots, still finished 3 of 6, hit a big 3 for us, made his free throws. And then once he was in foul trouble in the first half, he didn't register any other foul. So only played 17 minutes. So we've given him credit for playing better. Again, this is just relative to this season. At the beginning of the season, he had higher expectations. So yes, he's fallen short of that. But since the trade deadline, he's been on the uptick in terms of what he's been able to produce for us. The last game, it was not good. And then this game, it got better as it went on, and it looked more in that form. So I hope that just continues. But I think everyone's valid for being frustrated with him early. But he definitely wasn't. I mean, his plus minus was the worst of the team, but I don't think he was he made up for what happened in the first half, and it wasn't he didn't harm us. But I also understand maybe seeing Sass or someone else for him. But yeah, he finished strong. That's what I wanted from him.
He should have been in double figures. And you guys are saying this too, because they took away that bucket he had at the rim, that charge where you're supposed to be able to come down. If you're in the air, you're supposed to be able to come down, before the defender is there to be able to get in. It was a bad call. It was a weird call for sure. You guys are all
and that was his first basket. And so now I changed it to 2. 2 of his 3 fouls that got him into foul trouble early were kind of BS. But again, it's not like he had a game that erases everything and all the criticisms that people have had of him all season, but he definitely picked it up and played good defense and contributed on offense in the second half when we needed him to, which is kind of Eric Vincent's argument, but dwindled down. Eric Vincent wants him to do better overall as a vet for us, but in the big moment, he stepped up to make sure that we close out this game with the W.
He did, yeah. I thought he had a nice stretch in that third quarter. He had 5 straight points he put together on his own, and he had some nice dishes for guys for nice entry pass dishes for layups. So he had a nice stretch in that third quarter there when we were kind of stuck in the mud, and he kind of got us out of it with his scoring and his passing. In fourth quarter too, he picked it up fourth quarter too. I did notice, boss, he was on the court with Daniss, and I didn't know how. I still don't know how I feel about this. Maybe it's just them trying to get him acclimated, but they were actively running sets for him to get the ball and make something happen with Daniss Jenkins on the court. It was time Daniss Jenkins was on the weak side, and they were running stuff for Caris to get the ball off of curls and make plays off of that. They were looking. You could see it was a set. It was a set they were running to get him the ball and get him making plays. And Daniss was on the weak side. So it was like, that's interesting, because I like him as a secondary playmaker, not a guy that is looking to initiate offense like they had him doing. Right. But I mean, it didn't work out tonight. I want to see the ball in Daniss Jenkins' hands to orchestrate and kind of lead the offense.
But that was more that he also still, those moments were a little bit off ball, whether he brought it up. Like,
that's true.
I just don't want, when I say that when he's on ball, of course, I would have liked to see with Daniss too. He's not trying to create it. He's finding his own shot off ball, and they're running plays for him. Nice floaters. He missed one, but it was well defended and still was, close. Even Cade misses off the back of the rim floaters. So, but he was hot and was finding his spot there. So I just, again, hope that if those are the kind of plays they're running for him and he's making that, then I can totally see him again, as long as for me, like we discussed, he seems to do better when he's not the one creating his own shot or having to pass it off to someone else. Even if it's him bringing it up and he gives it to Daniss and lets Daniss make that decision, and he gets open and he gives an outlet for Daniss to make, that seems to be when he's most productive.
Right. And Kevin says, my issues when they try to play Caris like he's Cade. Right. Exactly. It's just about how you utilize him is all I'm really paying attention to. But he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad in this game. But this is interesting too, because I see a few people saying the same thing. Maybe JB was trying to not leak too much if we want to, what we're going to do in the playoffs. And Kenyatta also says, Coach, maybe just trying some new stuff for the play. So yeah, it could be tinkering. It could be experimentation. We don't know. I'm just like, when we get to the fourth quarter, when we get to the playoffs, I want to see some consistent play from these guys in specific roles, doing the same thing every game, looks a little bit different, fine. But I want to see that consistent play. These guys look comfortable in whatever their role is going into the playoffs.
That may be why they looked a little choppy today, despite just because they were trying some other things like Cade off ball, like Caris instead of Jenkins, like because I've been saying it all podcasts, like that could have been something that was on their mind, and they knew that with the depleted OKC team, this might be a good chance to try some stuff out. So maybe again, possible. they knowing Coach and Trajan, I wouldn't be surprised if they turned it into a learning opportunity as well as a dub. Like so they're just trying to figure out what works. So I can see both of those angles as well because. There's kind of really no other explanation why Cade wouldn't be the main ball handler on the floor for most of the night as well. He played, like I said, he played a lot off ball. So they just could be trying to figure out what they want.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. And I did see someone let the Nuggets went on a run from Hardaway up 77-67 after 3. They've been terrible in the clutch lately. Terrible. So come on, Nuggies.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it, y'all. All right.
I'm not jinxing.
I said y'all.
Oh, y'all.
I say you.
No, get excited. Go Nuggies. They're keeping updated like I asked them to. So thank you.
For sure. All right, guys. Yeah, keep us updated on that game. Let us know how it plays out if we're still here by the time it's over. Let's go to Ron Holland, boss. Tonight, guys, Ron Holland had 8 points on 4 for 9 shooting. All 3 from 3. Cannot find his 3 ball at all. 5 boards, 2 assists, and a steal in 16 minutes. What did you see from LeBron Dalpon Jr.?
Yeah, really good. I didn't hate it. Again, if you take away his threes, he's 4 of 6, so I'll take that. And his threes were all early. I think they were just trying to get to him. The corner threes he cannot make. I'm sorry. No. I didn't understand why they kept rotating to put him in the corner. No, because and there were a couple times, yes, what you always say too, he's open, shoot it, but there's a couple times like, okay, you're open, drive it. That's what you're really good at.
In this game, Yes,
in this game. Exactly. Because he hits his threes from the top when he can see the backboard. And I relate. So but other than that, other than the threes, a very, very good stat line. He played great defense, a good steal, some other disruptions. He had 4 fouls, a couple of them, again, I think he just tried to match their physicality too. So but 4 fouls I'd rather have from him than 1 foul from Tobias, like play aggressive, make it hard on these young guys. A little bit shorter minutes, but everyone on the bench kind of had equal minutes. So I'm not too mad about it, but our bench guys should have definitely had equal or more than our starting guys with the unit we were going against. But I digress. We talked about it enough. But good show out from Ron. Normal show out from Ron. He does Ron things. And
once he gets that jump shot, it's gonna be fun.
Well, that's another thing. It's like you're shooting the threes, okay? They dribble it in, make them collapse on you because they weren't guarding him; they were leaving him open out there, and he proved them why they should. So dribble it in, pull up if you want to, try a shorter mid range, dribble to a spot where you can see the backboard and make it in. But but also the way he was shooting threes so early feeds into the argument that people have, like, maybe they were just like, go try it to everybody. Let's try these and let's try this. Run in the corner when they leave you open, get your shot. Because they were nice. They got closer and closer every time. His form is getting very good. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm never going to be mad at Ron playing Ron style basketball.
And I liked how we mentioned the shooting. We know that's well documented. He's got to work on that. Kevin actually said we know what he's going to be working on this offseason, and I agree. And it's going to be a work in progress. But I do like to be positive about Ron because I talked about his shooting. I like how it seemed like last year we were like, man, he's a great finisher at the rim, right? And he still is. He's even better this year. He's gotten stronger. But I like now, one thing I see that now that I didn't see last year is he doesn't have the blinders on like he used to. Normally in the past, when he would get 2 feet in the paint or when he would drive to the rim, he was always looking to score. And I think we were just so surprised by his ability to that was like we didn't really notice that he wasn't really looking to pass the ball. But now we're seeing him be more of a playmaker. He's making some nice passes now. He doesn't have the blinders on. He can still see the floor pretty well. So I just like that he's looking to facilitate and get guys involved when the collapse does come. He's taking advantage of his first step and getting to the rim. So I like how he's doing that. That's going to help. That's going to encourage his ball movement, right? So he's growing. The shot isn't there yet, but he's still showing offensively that he can still be effective in other ways outside of just driving and trying to score every time, which he's good at. He's passing the ball and finding guys. That's going to make the defense a lot more honest when they're guarding us.
Well, that's like I think another reason why we got into the hole early was because we were like, yeah, go try it, because he's had games where he's shot 50. He's got 2 of 4. He hit his first one last game and didn't make any more. So, he shot 3 and didn't try it again. I was just more again. I think they're just trying different stuff because I don't see him. Yeah, he rotates to the corner, but he doesn't usually stand there. Like, he was just open in the corner a lot today when usually you see him collapse towards the glass. You see stuff. So maybe they're just running different offensive sets to test them out before playoffs run as well. But
right. Could be.
Yeah, but I think he'll be really beneficial. Like, Ron is just great because you're like, oh, we're playing a young team. Ron is going to be great. And then when you're like, oh, we're playing an older team, Ron is going to be great because he plays at the same level of intensity no matter who he's playing with. So you can't tire him out. So he's great for young teams. And then you can't tire him out, so he gives the older teams a headache. What someone did say, we have Cavs on Friday, and I guess Mitchell and Harden both did not play. But Giannis didn't play for the Bucks either. I guess Rollins popped off, guys.
That's what it sounded like. I think it's on the chat, yeah.
Ryan Rollins, shooting coach, is also Coach Hart, a guest of the show.
Shout out Coach Hart.
Daniss' shooting coach as well, so he's fun. But so I don't know what Friday will look like, but either way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were just sitting on D-Mitch for that. Well, no, it's not a back-to-back, so I don't know why they would do. Yeah, who knows? If they're both out, we better win that game for sure.
Yeah.
No question about it. But yeah, I agree with you, boss. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Javonte Savage. Can you whoa Green, guys? Tonight in this game, Javonte Green finished with 6 points on 2 for 4 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 4 boards, a steal and a block for 2 stocks per use. That's more like it for Javonte Green, boss, in 17 minutes. So he has returned. What did you see tonight, boss, from Savage Woo?
Yeah, in San Antonio, guys, he put up zeros across the board. We haven't seen that from him. And he got more minutes tonight. I think he hit our first 3 for us. Weren't we
in
like,
this game? Okay.
Yeah. Weren't we like, of either our first or at least our second?
We were like 1 for 10. So he made one of the first few.
Maybe the second, because he came in second quarter, I believe, and we were 1 for 10 at that point. So he got it going. He helped change the momentum. I was so excited to see it, to be back in the stocks range. Because even before, not the Spurs, but the game before, he was he didn't register any, so he was back there. He had a great takeaway, and OKC just beat him back. Because he was going, and he made the smart decision to kind of pull back, and that's why they offensive fouled him. Because he could have, if he didn't pull back, I think they would have gotten the ball because it's pretty out of control. So he made the right choices tonight. Just big. He was huge off the bench for us. Only 1 foul, no turnovers, some big rebounds, some really big grabs. He got some offensive, right? Yeah. I just remember his offensive rebound was huge because it was pretty clutch and we needed the ball back to run some more clock. So fantastic game from Javonte. I know maybe 6 and 4 and 1 and 1 doesn't look fantastic, but we know what he brings and what he does. So him coming in with like Ron and Cade, that helped switch the momentum back after the first quarter.
I agree. Yeah, I thought he played well. In this game. Khris says, big steals too, Doug. Khris says, Mr. I did this and I did that, coach. Yeah, pretty much. That's what he always does for the most part. Just a Swiss Army knife. I love we always talk about his energy and his shot making. I love I don't know what his percentage is, but he gets so many of those 50-50 balls.
Yes.
Where it's like bang, bang, like who's just going to give out the effort to go get that loose ball. He seems to come up with so many of those 50-50 balls, boss. And another thing I like about him too is he never gives up on the play. It's so many times when you see him, he may not get an offensive rebound, but he will come up with a steal as they're trying to get going with their offense. Like he'll come up behind and get a steal or poke the ball away before they actually finish the defensive possession. When they're close to doing it, when they're grabbing the board, he'll come and tap the ball out of their hands. When they're trying to outlet a pass, he'll come and deflect the ball and get a possible steal. Like he makes so many just effort plays, heads up plays, 50-50 plays that just is hard to scout for. And he knows how to do it without fouling. He's smart. He doesn't get in trouble to where he's behind the play when he's doing it. Like he just is a good basketball player, man. I know some of you guys are saying, why was he in instead of Ausar?
Yeah.
I just feel like Ausar at his ceiling is the more impactful player, right? But Javonte Green is a more consistent player.
Yep.
Right. And he can give you spacing as well. So I just think that's why at certain times you're going to see him finish games because he's going to do things that encourage good play on both sides of the basketball. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's not going to take bad shots. He's just a great connector and he's a vet. So that's why at times you're going to see him instead of guys like Duncan Robinson because he gives you more defense. He can still shoot. You're going to see me for Ausar Thompson times. He's just more steady at times. So I'm not mad at that at all. I just think he's a really good, solid basketball player who knows how to win you games. That's really it for me with him.
And again, with his steals, the same with Ausar too. They both had times where they knocked it out of bounds. They wouldn't let guys inbound easy.
Right.
Those don't go on the box score as anything other than hustle. Like for us, it's just hustle and making it tough and being like, yeah, try again. So
yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
By the way, Vinochi says, so you got can you woo Casanova LeVert and Smooth Operator. Yo, the 80s R&B is strong with this squad. Y'all, you know I can't help myself, bro. You know I'm in the music the same way you in the music, bro. I gotta throw some musical references in there. Y'all know what it is, man. But yeah, definitely, Kevin, we have a nice bench for sure. We just need one more consistent 3-point shooter. 100%. I agree, man. I agree. And also, Devon says Green will be our Bruce Brown in the playoffs. I like that as well. Just a guy who just makes plays for you. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah. Brucey Brown was huge for the Nuggets playoffs as the reason Jokic had him back. Like they literally have it. Like Jokic asked for Bruce Brown back on the team this year.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see that. But and Bruce can. They're both older too. That's the crazy thing is like Wu was out here doing this thing against younger guys. That's why there's kind of no excuse for some of our younger guys to hustle. But all of our young guys do hustle.
Yep.
But he's out there making it tough for these 23, 24-year-olds at the age of 31. So
yep. Artificial says this is a different YouTube channel, but Brooklyn calls him Caris LeVert, Gerald LeVert. I saw that too, bro. That's hilarious. He does the watchbacks. Shout out to him. He also has what's called Cade State of Mind, which is hilarious, where he just kind of goes into this whole different state, backdrop everything when Cade goes crazy. So yeah, but I watch those too, guys. So that's hilarious. Exactly 313. You know what it is, bro. You know what it is, man. We paying attention to the same thing. All right, guys, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's go now, boss, to B-Ball Paul in this game. Paul Reed. Tonight, guys, Paul Reed finished with 8 points on 3 for 7 shooting, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 5 boards, 1 turnover, and 4 blocks, like boss mentioned earlier, in 17 minutes. Take off on B-Ball Paul, boss.
4 blocks, B-Ball. You're crazy. And he had 4 of those points where towards the end of the game, he got fed by, I think, Caris and by LeVert, I want to say. And he had to catch it with one hand and just finish it quick. Like he was able to make sure that he did not turn the ball over.
Yep.
He started the game a little slow. He was getting frustrated with some fouls. He had some no calls to finish the game. Like he played more than the box score shows to me. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you told me he had a 10-10 game the way he plays out there. His effort is always unreal. But he made 6 rebounds is still very good. But then you see 4 blocks. You're like, oh my gosh. It's like he has 6 rebounds, but he also maybe he prevented 8 points.
That's like 2 rebounds for 1 block, pretty much. Like
exactly. So just another stellar output for B-Ball.
Yep.
He's also a guy that I feel like he would look at this game and not love it. He had that one shot. I feel he had a shot blocked because he does start low when he's in his form. So he had a ball hit out of his hands, one of his first shots of the game, and then he kind of got stuck in the mid-range because everyone stopped moving. Again, they must be running new sets or something because everyone was just like, what? And he didn't make those. So not a lot of jump shots, but finished at the rim beautifully, just made it tough on guys. I would have liked to see him fed a little bit more, but but in the first half, but I said the same thing about JD and they both got it done in the second half. So big props to B-Ball Paul for just continuing to show up for this team.
I agree, man. There was first of all, Mecklemore says no more DNPs. I hope so.
We'll see.
You know what that's gonna mean. You know how it's gonna happen. Y'all know what it is. I was hoping this period with Stu being out will be able to get him an opportunity to get more minutes and to play with Isaiah Stewart and JD. Y'all already know. I'm gonna leave it there. Chris says that was nice, boss, with that one-handed catch. Like he's just that was nice. I think Cade passed it a little bit too far ahead and he brought him with one hand. Yeah, he's got good hands for a big guy for sure. Yeah, I like that. And listen, guys, Isaiah Stewart is going to be so important. I've been talking about it all night. So important for this team in the stretch run. We're not going to make any kind of real noise without him, right? But even with that, let's not forget we're 4-1 since these suspensions, guys. 4-1. The quality teams too, and Paul Reed is a big part of that. So I think he's filled in admirably without those guys being out. We both thought that they would be able to stay above water for sure without Stu because of B-Ball Paul, right? So I just want to give him some love and give him some credit because he's played great. Even though he hasn't had gaudy numbers, he's been consistent when he's played. Kevin says the Jimmy Buckets quote is hilarious. Tobias Harris over me. Yeah, that's what he always says.
Well, it's also because me earlier in the season, I think when everyone was out and we played the Sixers and Paul Reed, that's when he put on his 28 points games.
Yeah.
Like, Andre Drummond over me.
Andre Drummond over me. Yeah, no, it's crazy, right? Nacho says coach kind of has to start Stu now. Tobias has been bad again. Y'all feel me, bro? You feel me? Like, and I love Tobias. I just come on, man. Like we need it.
The defense. It's just the defense, and it's just never been a strong suit of his game. So it's understandable because he does got like there's been a lot of games since the new year that he's just come in clutch for us. He's been consistent mid range. He has his strength, but so does Stu. So if you can figure out, I think if you just start Stu and then you figure out how to rotate Tobias and B-Ball Paul in the rotation, that's a beautiful, fantastic playoff.
100%. That's the move.
I'm cool with 11 on the playoff roster instead of 10. So
yeah, I'm cool. You know what? And you said that earlier because I was saying shorten the rotation. If that means you got to go with 11 guys just to give B-Ball Paul more minutes, and you play him you play 4 bigs instead of 3, fine, do it. I'm because you can't not play him without what he's played.
Imagine, I mean, that would mean if we had B-Ball Paul active in the rotation, that would mean there would only be a couple minutes where we only have 1 big on the floor. Tough.
Yeah. Exactly. So like, I don't know. We got these guys on. We might as well just play them and give them a chance. So we'll see. Maybe they're waiting for the playoffs. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not showing their hand, tipping their hand right now. We'll see. As long as we get to see it by playoff time, I'll be happy, and I think everybody else will be too. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Let's go now to Kevin Huerter, and then we will go to Sass if y'all want, and then we'll get to Khris Middleton. So Kevin Huerter, guys, played what? How many minutes did he play tonight? Kevin Huerter played 8 minutes. He did not score. 0 for 1 from the field. His only shot was a 3-ball. He missed it, and that's pretty much it. Cardio Kevin tonight in 8 minutes. So, boss, what did you see tonight from Kevin Huerter?
Okay, someone else update me. What happened with the Celtics went up by 23, and then they took the 3 away. Let me know.
Wait, the Celtics or the Nuggets?
The Celtics. The Nuggets were up, and then the Celtics brought it within 73 to 80. It was 85 to 73, and then when they came back, it was 85 to 70 again. So I'm just curious. Did they take away a 3? I was wondering. Maybe it's shot clock. I don't know how that happens. Anyways, yeah, he had 1 shot. I keep seeing someone in here. It's been a minute, so if you're still here, let us know. They keep saying, see how they were letting Huerter wide open? I mean, Huerter only had 1 shot, so I need to see him get the ball more in his hands to see if they really do come down on him. He had 1 shot that was blocked. So to me, that doesn't say that you were wide open. That means that you had a guy right on you.
Yeah.
And so he never had another opportunity. He did great with spacing. He had the ball a couple times and just got rid of it. He got it back to Jenkins, who got it back to someone else.
He just missed a shot. That would have been an assist.
Yeah. So this is just kind of a nothing burger to me because it's like if he went 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, sure. But I'm not going to talk about an 0 for 1 where he got blocked and then I just saw him space well and handle the ball well when he did have it. So
yeah, that's what I'm at too. Like he played it didn't show up, but he played the way I think they want this team to play, which is what we always talk about: ball movement and player movement, unselfish play, getting good shots, moving the ball. He did that. Like I said, he had a nice pass. He had a 3. They closed out to him, put the ball on the floor, and found Daniss Jenkins for open 3. Just didn't fall. Right. So he's once again player movement, ball movement. So I'm not going to judge him off of 8 minutes. I really feel Boston just bringing him along really slowly, just letting him take his time and figure out the playbook and figure out the offense. I'm still not like, I don't have high hopes for him at this point as far as being a huge contributor or anything like that. But I do think he may have his moments in the playoffs where he does contribute. But yeah, I'm not gonna judge him or hate on him because he didn't play ball in 8 minutes of play. I'm just not gonna do that.
Exactly. And right now we don't even know if he's in the rotation, which I think did we cover everybody? So maybe we can talk about the Middleton gossip going around. Some of you in the Chat may not know what we're talking about, but if you're ready, I'll just get into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
What do you think?
Khris Middleton was traded to the Mavs, and he will most likely be bought out. And we have until, I think, March 7th. I think it's the 7th. It could be the 10th, but basically a week into March to sign people that are free agents, waived, bought out. We can do that. So people were talking about potentially Khris Middleton. Mark Stein, is he reliable?
Yes.
Okay. Mark Stein said that I always have to double check. That the Pistons are potentially interested in bringing Khris Middleton in. Where I stand on it is I don't think it could harm or hurt us. What it would mean is that we have to waive someone. Probably, if I had to guess, it would be Isaac Jones. Because we have a 15-man roster. We can only have a 15-man roster, so we would have to waive someone. And then my other concern would just be if we're not even putting Sass and Huerter in our rotation, where would he fit in? But that is a guy that is, obviously a vet, a reliable shooter. There's actually, a kind of a high chance that he can come. He comes here if he wants to try to fight for a ring or something. So I think that the only thing that potentially would hold them back is if Trajan just doesn't want to waive anybody, thinks that we're set, or if Middleton asks for more I don't know how a buyout works. Do you just buy out the rest of the contract, or can Middleton negotiate and ask for more? Because that'd be the other thing. If he's like, no,
you buy him out, he can sign for how $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, whatever is agreed to. Yeah, I
wasn't sure if he could be like, well, I want to go to a team, but I want to be signed for 2 years or something. That's another thing. I could just think the Trajan would be like, well, I can't make that commitment. But I wouldn't hate it. It wouldn't harm us. It wouldn't hurt us. It could benefit us. It would just be like, where would he fit in? But I think that's something that they're trying to figure out right now anyways. So
yeah. Michael says, because I think somebody said Isaac Jones is already off the 15, man. So if it's not Jones, it'd have to be somebody else. So that would make things even more trickier. I'm going to double check that for sure and see. I don't know for sure. But if it has to be somebody like Bobby or Huerter or somebody like that, then okay, you got to consider it. For me, and this is barring health, barring any injuries or anything like that, because I know as he's gotten older, he has had some injury history. Aside from that, if he's healthy, right? If he's healthy, I'm definitely doing it. For a few reasons. First of all, it's not risky. That's the first thing. Like you said, it's reported that the Mavs are going to buy him out. So he's in the last year of a $33 million deal, right? A contract over. So he's made over $300 million in his career. So I don't think he's hurting for anything right now as far as that goes. So as long as he's not asking for a ton of money or anything after this year, to me, it's just low risk, high reward. He's 34 years old. I'm sure he wants to win another ring. And I think he'd have a great chance to do it here. And I think he knows that. So, and don't forget, he was drafted by Joe Dumars. And even though he only played here for one season in his rookie season, there will be some level of familiarity here. So if I'm the Pistons, if the price is right, and if they aren't, outbid by other teams who may be trying to get him as well, I think they should do it. I think they should do it for sure. So as far as what he could bring, I looked some stats up. So he is a career 16-point per game scorer, averaging 5 boards, 4 assists, with a career 46, 39, 87 splits. In 1 year, he shot 43% from 3, which is incredible. So he's always been a really good shooter, always been a really good scorer, on ball, off ball, doesn't matter. And this season, between the Wizards and the Mavericks boss, he's averaging 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Once again, good shooting splits. So first and foremost, he would instantly improve the Pistons shooting and spacing. Instantly. Yeah. He would help Cade a lot as far as just being able to have another guy who makes the defense have to pay attention to, but he could also be a secondary playmaker as well. Going back to his days with the Bucks, it was him that was often the guy that was the closer. He was often the closer for a team that had a prime MVP Giannis. Khris Middleton closed a lot of those games for the Bucks. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch that. But I want to be fair too, because that was 4 or 5 years ago. Right, when they won the championship. That was back in 2021. So he's not the same level player that he was then. I want to get that out the way. But I still think he's 75% to 80% of that, right? So to me, that's enough to push the Pistons to an even deeper playoff run. So I know a lot of fans have been clamoring for a secondary playmaker, a secondary scorer, another spacer to go along with Cade. I think Middleton, even at 34, boss, can be that.
Well, that's like, I think he had a great season with the Wizards. He was on the Wizards before he got traded to the Mavs at deadline, and that's why they're buying him out. I think our biggest competition, because here's the thing, it depends on, I think our biggest competition to get him would be the Bucks. Because he spent most of his career there. He won a championship with them. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where he wants to finish his career. If he wants to get another championship, the Bucks would be the last place to go right now. Because I think
that's what I'm saying.
I think they might wait their way into the play-in, but I don't see them going far. But you don't know. You don't know, because if that championship team for the Bucks was very close. They had great chemistry like we do have now. So you don't know. But for me, it would just be, I don't see us waiving like Huerter because his contract's a little bit expensive. I'll look into the Jones stuff. I could see maybe Bobby. Yeah. Because his contract isn't as expensive. You just don't want to like waste money by waiving someone,
Agreed.
So, but I, like you said, I wouldn't hate it. Just like, where do you think,
good look.
do you think he would just be here for, like, where would he come in? Because do you think he would just be here for security? Do you think he would take, I could see him taking some of Woo's minutes, but I guess
it'd be tough.
Defense. Yeah. So that's like my whole thing is like, where do you think he would fit? Because right now he's definitely better offensively. He makes good decisions. He can still hit threes like crazy, great mid-range, but like, if we're already having trouble, we finally, I think, gotten to our 10, which is why we don't see Sass or Huerter or even, B-ball when we have a healthy centers. Like, where would he fit?
It would have to be the wing spot, the 2-3. It'd have to be there. So like you're saying, somebody's minutes will have to get cut a little bit. But it's like, once again, I don't think at this stage they would start him at this point. I mean, you could make a case for it just because it gives Cade more spacing. And it gives Cade a secondary threat. I think he's one of those guys, boss, once again, that could be a closer to games, but not somebody who necessarily starts. Because late in games, when the game slows down in half court, he's a guy that can really help Cade with the spacing, with the shooting, agree. With the scoring, right? So I think you add him and you figure it out. You add him and you figure it out. Because also to go along with that, he's a great locker room guy too. He's a great locker room guy. One thing that we often talk about when it comes to like bringing guys in, boss, is we always say, how does it look outside of just on paper? This isn't 2K where you add a guy and your whole team goes up with a few notches. It doesn't work like that. So one thing this team, doesn't have is a current player who's a champion. We got a guy that's been to the finals in Duncan Robinson, right? But no player is a champion, right? Luke Walton's a coach, right? I get it. But there's no guy in the locker room on this team who's a champion. So I think he could bring
a champion.
I think he could bring that championship pedigree to the locker room. I think he could be a really good mental pillar to go along with Tobias Harris, to go along with Duncan Robinson.
Well, then let's just be flexible. Because again, I've never been like, we need a firm 10-person lineup. I've always been in the boat of, I don't care if it works. Like, I think that's how OKC is. If anybody, like Aaron Wiggins today was having an off game, I think if they weren't as injured, Aaron Wiggins wouldn't have been playing as much. Like, I think they would have just put in someone else for him. So, but so that's kind of how I feel about it going with Middleton. It's like, okay, like maybe, bring him in for a few minutes to get some offense. Oh, you can always replace him with Woo. You can always replace him with Ron. Like, those aren't guys that are going to lose minutes. So then we, just be okay with the 12-man rotation. That's exhausting for other teams. That's very exhausting for other teams. If we bring in someone new that replaces the guy that he subbed in just as well. So I could absolutely see it, and I would not be mad at it. It'd actually be a great move. And again, like this is just like a playoff push kind of move. It's nothing set in stone. It's finish the season with us, and we'll go from there. Because I don't even know how much longer Middleton wants to play. He is an older player. He may want to retire after this season.
Exactly.
Maybe one more season, and then he goes back to the Bucks. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? So
go ahead, finish.
I'm saying I'm pretty much for it. And I will say real quick, there's 10 seconds left and the Nuggets are up by 19. So
game over. Good job, Nuggies. But yeah, like, and also, boss, the Pistons, they wouldn't like, it's so low risk, high reward because the Pistons wouldn't have to trade away the assets like they were trying to do to bring in a guy like MPJ. for Lauri Markkanen to be the secondary guy. Like, we wouldn't have to give away any crazy assets to go get him. And let's just say worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, God forbid he gets hurt or he's unavailable, whatever. Because you got a guy, who is not playing as much, that we got to say you got to waive somebody or cut somebody. Whoever that player is going to be somebody who's not playing anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So as long as the amount that he's asking for to come here isn't a lot, if it doesn't work out, you're not losing anything. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you can go get a guy, that is a high reward, lower risk, high reward, a low risk, high move you can make. So I'm definitely doing that for sure. If there's an opportunity to go get that guy, I'm not thinking twice. It'd be another Piston vet who is reunited with their former team. Right? Tobias Harris first, not Khris Middleton for sure.
Someone just said too, he had a 27 point double-double game with the Wizards. He still can't shoot. He's someone I don't want to see open in the corner if I'm the opposing team. And like you said, worst case, we sign him on, it doesn't work, and he's on the bench, and we're still the exact same, or we sign him on and he gets hurt and we're still the exact same, or we sign him on and he's coming in, he's draining 3 threes for us, and getting close to 12 points a game, in crucial minutes and less minutes. So he's not, guys. He's not. I know, like, we don't want to say, oh, but we could get someone better and stuff. Like, we're just talking about someone who's available right now that can help us close out at a low cost and not a detriment to the playoffs. There's not a lot of other guys out there. And then also could also be an asset for us in the offseason for deals, for things like that.
You just never know.
For clearing salary as well. Yeah.
And I'm seeing some comments about his defense. He's not a bad defender, guys. He's never been a bad defender. I would say at this point in his career, he's average, but he's not like a below average. Think about it. Duncan Robinson, everybody thought was a below average defender. Look at what he's turned into.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was fast. It was fast. And
so you got a Khris Middleton, who's a better defender than Duncan Robinson, who defended his tail off with the Bucks when he was doing it on both ends, guys. People were calling him the Batman on that team at the end of games because he was the one with the ball in his hands knocking down shots. It wasn't Giannis. It was him, right? And defensively, he was strapping up. So, no, the boy, he still got a little bit of gas in the tank. And I think for him to play with us for maybe half a year, man, I'm definitely doing that move. I'm not thinking twice. There's no question about it at all. Yeah. No question. Kenyatta says 12-man rotation to exhaust the other team is insane, boss. I love it. Yeah, 100%. I think I'm with that too. I'm on board with that too.
I just think it's something that all teams that are top right now will utilize, maybe except the Knicks and the Celtics, but like the Nuggets have found gems in their G Leaguers and two-way players. We have, obviously OKC is deep. Obviously the Spurs are deep. I think it's something that we could, I think it's things that other teams will utilize. And if they don't, I think it's an advantage that we will have. And it doesn't have to be every game. I just would take it game by game and stuff like that. But just to have this depth to rely on, it's just been awesome. And I can see JB and Trajan. Obviously, these guys know that it's more of a rotation and more of a slow play in the playoffs. But I can definitely see these guys being rewarded with opportunity and playing time for what they contribute and their strengths. They all play similarly, that nothing falls off when they're in, but they all have their different strengths, and that's awesome.
Yeah. So like I'm seeing this here too. Kevin says we're talking about Dunk in Huerter, bro. And we saying Middleton can't defend. Right. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, no, I'm not worried about his defense and him being liability. No. And then Charles says dude's never healthy in the way he was playing. Well, he's been healthy this year. Listen. He's been healthy this year. He's been playing well this year. And once again, here's the point. If it doesn't work out, you didn't lose anything. That's the whole point. Because what other option do you have? As many people have been saying, Cade needs a secondary guy, he needs shooters. What other option is out there? If you're legitimately trying to push for the finals this year and trying to win a championship this year, what other options are out there that are going to help you do that? It's not just a bunch of guys who are just waiting to get bought out. This is probably one of the best options you're going to have. And for him to be able to still do it at a high level, if he gets hurt, okay, didn't work out. But we didn't lose 3 or 4 guys or any depth pieces or any assets to go get them. So it doesn't hurt you. So worst case, it's almost like we never even got him. So if he's healthy, it's a huge plus.
Real quick, what's his contract if it's $1 million? Okay, so how does a buyout work exactly? So the Mavs pay it, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's them.
Buy him out, and then he's just a free agent.
So they will buy out the remainder of his contract for this year. So he's making 33 this year. They pay the remainder of whatever that is left. and then he's free to sign with whoever he wants at whatever price point.
Whatever price.
So as long as he's not asking for a ton of money and he's made $300 million over his career and he's getting older and he probably wants to win, I could see him being able to negotiate with the team and not be trying to get a bunch of money, which is my whole point, is that it doesn't hurt you because you're not losing a key guy and you're not spending a bunch of money to affect your cap sheet.
Yeah.
So why not?
And like we said earlier with Dunk too, like yeah, we live in the paint, but the biggest complaint this has been our shooting and our offensive stuff. So I get it, but like Khris Middleton also isn't going to be left open in the corner. I'll tell you that much.
No, not at all.
So just like we were talking about how Kevin said earlier with Duncan at least being out there and guys are going to have to close on him because you can't leave him open. That's another thing that Khris Middleton can also bring to us. So, and agreed, 100%. It can't be too high. It's going to be the right price. It's going to be the right price. But there's not a lot of teams right now that are vying for a championship because he's not going to be brought to a team that's tanking. Okay. So he's going to be brought to a team that's vying for a championship, vying to go far in the playoffs. There's not a lot of them that are like, we need more shooting.
I mean, think about it. Why is he asking to get bought out? Are the Mavs doing anything this year? They're doing absolutely nothing. They're going nowhere. The Mavs are going nowhere this year, and he's getting older, so he probably wants to get bought out so he can go compete for a championship. Yeah. What better team can he do that other than here? You look around the league, maybe Denver, maybe San Antonio, OKC, but there's not going to be a ton of competition, in my opinion, as far as where he's going to go, unless they're just offering him like 20-something million, which they're not going to do. So I think it's a win-win for both sides.
It's like what, 20? How many games left? 43, 14,
25.
Like 25, 26 games left. Don't make it seem like it's permanent for 26 games.
25
is what it would be. 25. Yeah. Okay. It'd be permanent for 25 games. It's not permanent for next season. It's not and again, if something goes wrong, all we did was pay him some money that, we tried, but like it's not going to be detrimental, but yeah, I can see it. I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to be like, dang, we should have gotten him if he signs with someone else, if other things, because I think Trajan made the right choice. But if he comes here,
it's a plus. It's
cool.
It's a plus. Very cool. That Bucks team was one of my favorite teams in 2021 outside Detroit to watch. I just loved how they played the game. I never thought I'd root for Brook Lopez, but I was the Lopez fan, Connaughton, all those guys. I just like that. I just liked how that team played as a unit. Right,
not a Lopez, but I'm a Giannis, a Portis, a Drew Holiday,
Drew,
Dame or not Dame.
I think even DiVincenzo was over there too.
Who was their point?
Drew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so that's but I really love.
And with all those guys, Khris was the closer. You know what I'm saying? So
right, yeah.
I think if he can give us 75% of that and he can stay healthy, he can be huge. He can win us a playoff game or two. If he can. He can. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. That's all, just projecting out. But I wanted to talk about that because we did hear about that and you guys had questions about it as well. So anything else on that, boss?
No, nothing else. I think I just want to extend the same question I had for you guys. You guys can find I'm Boss Talks Ball on Instagram, and that's on everything, but that's what I use the most. Yeah. If you guys are at all tapped in to the NCAA and have any goals, because right now with the Timberwolves, right now we're sitting at 21, I think. 21
or 22 as far as our pick based on the Timberwolves standings in the West.
Tell me 20 through 29, 20 through 30, those kind of range, who you guys would want to be drafted in that range. Don't give me like, oh, this guy's probably going to go fifth, but I want him. No. Give me, because I want to look up. I'm not tapped into the NCAA as much as I want to be. Let me know who your favorite players are because I want to start researching them because that's another thing I think Trajan has his finger on the pulse of. And I would just love to see who you guys like and your guys' stuff too. So that was just brought up in the live chat and I would just love some more direction. The NCAA is big and wild and I don't even know where to start when researching. So just inbox me some guys because I would love to research some more as well too.
Yeah. Okay. So Khris gonna do some research for sure. Devon says, should we keep the pick, trade up, or trade it? That's a great question. We'll talk about that more, bro.
We could do too.
That's what exactly because it could be used for a trade. We don't know. We got a lot of young talent. Always want to keep adding talent, but we got a lot of young talent. So who knows? Maybe do we keep it? Do we not? Do we use it for a package deal in the offseason to get a deep draft? right? A lot of teams trying to tank and get draft picks for this draft, so it's going to be a valuable piece. So we'll see. We'll see. Great questions, guys. So look, we'll leave it there, man. Great show tonight, guys. Really quickly, let's look ahead to the final game of the Pistons 3-game homestand Friday when they host the Cavaliers, boss. This will be the first time we see them with their new additions, maybe, of James Harden. Dennis Schroeder's there as well. Keon Ellis is there as well. Even though Harden did break his thumb, I think he's still playing, or going to try to play. So we'll see how that plays out. But boss, what are your thoughts on the Pistons-Cavs matchup? And then we'll get out of here.
Well, I said we were going to go 2-1 in this stretch. So far, we're 1-1. So I think we pull it out. Especially, again, I think JD plays great against
Mobley
bigger names.
and Allen.
And Mobley still hasn't. That guy can shoot threes. He can be a problem, but Allen has been more of the problem. But JD can still,
good.
Yeah, he can still body through him. The Cavs are also, a bit of a deeper team. I really love Jalen Tyson. I really, there's just a few guys. We'll see Dennis Schroeder again. Woohoo!
Him and Dennis is gonna be fun.
Yeah, second time this season, but with a different team.
Right.
Or third time
that's
this season.
true.
So
You're right. That's
I
crazy.
feel good about it. I'm curious. Like even Donovan Mitchell always puts up a game against us, but he's second in the league in threes made. First is actually Con Knipple.
Wow, he's a beast, bro.
Con should absolutely be the. I think he's been a major part of the Hornets, their turnaround and what they've been able to do. So I think he should be Rookie of the Year. I know Cooper Flag is obviously a big name, but I think Con's deserved it. But anyways, but right behind him is Donovan Mitchell in threes made, and he's obviously a force. I'm trying to think. I'm like missing someone on their team that I can't think of, but those guys, and we might see Harden.
Brandon Miller. You talking about the Cavs or the Hornets?
The Cavs. So all I could think of are the two bigs: Jalen Tyson, Mitchell, and Harden.
Oh, they got some snipers too. They got Sam Merrill.
Oh yeah.
They got another sniper too. Dean Wade, isn't he over there too?
Oh, I can't stand that man. But he's
Dean Wade.
I'm like, bro, get a better haircut. Stop it.
I'm screaming. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he just has a basic white boy haircut. I'm like, bro, come on, you're a professional NBA player, do better. But anyway, that's funny. But yeah, so I think we have it as long as I think if we shut down Mitchell and beat Mobley and Allen in the paint, it's game. So yeah. Listen, Sean says as far as the roster spot, I mean, it would have to be someone like Bobby Klintman, who I love. I still have a lot of confidence in, but I mean, it just depends on what they want to do. Or Isaac Jones, who I do still think is on the 15-man. Michael said not. Okay, I don't know if he is anymore. I think I'm not sure. Okay, we'll look it up. We'll check. We'll check. Lastly, Michael says Khris Sinak Jr., 6'11" freshman. Who's okay? I've heard
that could be
name.
a pick for the Pistons. Okay, that's fine.
I have so far. Somebody also recommended Lendenborg, so I'm gonna look him up.
Oh yeah. From Michigan. Yeah, he's a beast. I don't know if he's gonna be there, but hopefully he is, because I would love to have him on his team. Yeah. Okay. Dudes, thanks again. Magic number 19, brother. Oh, magic number 19 for. What does that mean? So I saw you talking about that earlier, and it's something I think about clinching the first. Does that mean we have 19 wins? Or do we have 19 wins and with their losses kind of thing? Because you said 20 and then they lost, so it's 19 games. I'm just a little confused by that. I'm not sure. Yeah. If we don't get to them now, let us know in the comments. What clinches us the first? I would love to clinch the East is what he's saying. So 19 games between wins and losses, between our wins and their losses, maybe will get us there. Maybe that's what he's saying. Okay. That makes sense. That'll make sense. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that, guys. Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out, guys, for Friday night. We will be back here post game, of course. Yeah, we're going to combination. I got you, Doug. We'll be here Friday night, guys. That will also be a live national broadcast. I think it's on ESPN again, boss. Woo, yeah. So y'all working us, but y'all asked for it, we're gonna do it. So you guys will see. Hey, what up, dog? What up, dog? Bear came to say hello. What up, Bear? So yeah, guys, we will be back for another live watch party for that game. So make sure you guys are tapped in. Make sure you guys are subscribed and notifications turned on for that, because we will be doing that. And we'll be here post game, just like we are now, talking about it after the game. So we appreciate you guys for showing up, showing out. Man, this has been a fun show, boss. Got to a lot of things we wanted to get to. Got some Khris Middleton stuff out the way, and now we can look forward to this next game. And listen, man, we appreciate you guys for showing up and showing out as you guys always do, man. So make sure you guys smash the like button and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night tonight. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. See y'all Friday. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must want this way. Look at dog palm, mess around, find out, Look at dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that.